Less than a week after being put behind bars, Jussie Smollett is now being released. Entertainment correspondent Oscar Wells Gabriel has more.
An appeals court in Chicago has agreed with attorneys for the disgraced Empire actor that Jussie Smollett can be free pending the appeal of his conviction on charges of staging his own hate crime. Last week, a Cook County judge sentenced Smollett to start serving his 150-day jail term immediately. The appeals court ruling means he can be released on a personal recognizance bond of $150,000. Smollett's attorneys had argued that he would have finished his sentence by the time the appeals process would have made its way through the courts. I'm Oscar Wells Gabriel.
A group of New Orleans residents whose homes were built on a toxic landfill decades ago have won a $75.3 million court judgment against the city, its housing authority, and the local school board. You'll find more of these stories at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Bob Agnew.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday, everybody. Could get some rain today, a little windier. Certainly not going to be 80 today. A little bit different. So, but welcome to southeast New Mexico, right? Typical weather situation. It's pretty nice out there right now. It's in the 50s already. It's not too breezy yet, so it's kind of pleasant right now, but it's supposed to get windy later today, so sorry about that. Hey, with the chance of rain, though, we can use the moisture.
Yeah.
We got like a 30% and then a 20% tonight, mainly after 3, so I'll get you updated on all that here in just a little bit. Hope all of you are having a great day so far. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Do you have your green on, Roy? I don't see obvious green.
I'm not.
I mean, technically, your lanyard has a little green from the
unless
UFO.
you count the lanyard, then
that technically covers you, but
I wasn't prepared today.
That is unacceptable green overall here. So I am in green. I have my green shirt. I am covered.
I'm more prepared for Groundhog Day than I am for St. Patrick's Day.
Well, I'm just saying you're opening yourself up to pinching. You might get pinched with that. That's one of those moves where you pinch somebody, you're like, no, I got a green stripe on my sock. And it's like, well, it's not really visible.
Well, I'm lucky Sean's not here then.
Yeah. Although maybe he'll be in later, so just telling you.
Oh, okay.
Just be prepared. You might want to get a shamrock or something, paint on your shirt there, or something, construction paper, cut out a little. Hi, I'm Roy, and then,
right.
Pin it to your jacket there.
Find a green crayon and mark my face with it.
There you go, face paint.
Yeah.
Just do, put a little shamrock on your forehead. Everyone will like that, or your cheeks. Well, happy St. Patrick's Day. If you've not gotten dressed to start your day, and you forgot to put green on, go back to your closet there, or your dresser drawer, or wherever you keep your clothes, and go pull out a green shirt or pants or whatever, shoes, hair, accessories, whatever. But don't forget your green today, or you might get pinched. And if you do, you were warned. Even in COVID, they're still pinching. Although COVID's gone away thanks to Russia, so we're all right there.
I think being Irish has something to do with it too.
Yeah, well, I'm Irish.
I guess that's probably why you know about it more than I do.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't have any Irish blood in you?
I don't think so.
No.
I think I have some Dutch in me, but
Okay. No, well, I did that 23andMe jobber a couple years ago, you know, where they swab you and you send it in, they tell you what you are. And I knew I had Irish in me prior to that, but that thing said I'm 60% Irish and a little English there, and then 40% like German and French and, I don't know, Scandinavian. There's some Scandinavian in there too. So all I know is like they show like a map of the world, and then they have like this big color smudge that they say like geographically where your heritage is from, and mine's all like Western Europe and up into Scandinavia. Mine doesn't venture off into other parts of the world. It's all this big smudge right there. So yeah,
I know I'm half white. I don't know which part of white, but I know
6 toes, 4 fingers, and an elbow. Well, happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone out there. Celebrate responsibly, of course.
Yes.
We gotta, there's gonna be, checkpoints out, and everybody, I'm sure, Roswell Police Department, Sheriff's Department, New Mexico State Police, they're gonna be on the lookout for the green beer swervy driver guys, and gals. So be careful out there. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive, and have a fun St. Patrick's Day.
I did watch Shrek last night.
Oh, did you?
At the movie theater. They had it for.
Oh, like the
at
old
Apex.
Was it the original Shrek, the first one?
Yeah,
Okay.
they had a flashback thing. So
Okay.
I don't know if that counts as
It's kind of.
as a green.
Kind of. Mike Myers does his Irish accent all the time, so yeah, why not? It's Shrek's Irish, right? And isn't that an Irish accent he uses on Shrek?
I think it's Scottish.
This is Scott. Oh, you know what? I think you're right.
Yeah.
My apologies. You're right. It is Scottish, but close enough. Once people go, same thing. It's not, but
Right, there's a Scotland guy right now saying like, what?
yeah, we wear kilts. Irish don't. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We got some replays here. We had one guest reschedule here, and then I just had an open slot. So we're going to replay a couple interviews, and then we do have a guest coming in later this morning. We're going to replay our interview with Amy McVeigh-Teas from the Historical Society. She joined us earlier this week talking scholarships. So if you got high school kids, and wake them up out of bed right now and make them listen to this interview so that they know about these scholarships and all that. And then you send them back to bed. But, wake them up for that. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to replay our interview we had with Republican gubernatorial candidate Greg Zanetti. He dropped by Monday, and he was in town for a candidate forum they had, I think, Tuesday of this week for the governors. And so we had a great conversation with him. He kind of broke down what's going on over in Russia and Ukraine and all that. He's a military guy, so he kind of broke all that down for us. So I'm going to play that for you in the 8 o'clock hour. And then Crystal Noble with the Roswell Humane Society. She'll drop by here about 9:15 or so and give us an update on pets available for adoption, any deals, things happening over at the thrift store there, and of course, always encouraging people to become a member of the Humane Society. So we'll talk with Crystal about 9:15 or so today. Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the news of the local and national variety, Wall Street business updates, Hannity updates, Kim Commando updates, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. So do you have plans for St. Patrick's Day? Do you do anything?
Not tonight.
Not tonight. Pretty low key for me. We're actually I'm in the American Legion, and in American Legion Post 61 here in town, and we're celebrating the American Legion's birthday. They're having it's their birthday this week, and so we are having a little shindig, a little potluck birthday party so I'm going to be doing that. So nothing. No green beers, none of that, no Irish fire bombs, none of that stuff. Just food and people, okay. And good times.
No cake parties.
Yeah, none of that.
Well, I was. This is not an advertisement, but I was going to go to the Liberty this Sunday because they're going to have the Whalers there.
Yeah,
so
that'll be a good show.
I don't know if that counts as a.
You know what? A belated, yeah, I would give you that. And you know what? I still have some tickets to give away between now and Friday for that show. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See, I got some right here.
Cool.
On camera.
I think the camera's on you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It is. So I got some right here. Look at that. We got 3 pairs.
We also live stream.
3 pairs here that I'll give away before Friday. Today's what, Thursday?
Wait.
Yeah, today's Thursday.
Thursday.
Be listening.
Yeah.
Be giving them away here before tomorrow. Oh, it's over. Might be tomorrow. I don't know. Depends on my mood. All right, it is 14 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty wind today as low pressure and a cold front cross our area. Our high stays around 60, and we do have a slight chance of a shower or two around the Roswell area. Fair elsewhere. Partly cloudy overnight and upper 20s and breezy, and then we get sunshine back on Friday, but still cool. We'll be in the low 60s, back into the 70s, and fair for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 56 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 30%. Winds already breezy out of the northwest, says 22, gusting to 29. It didn't look that whippy to me when I was out there, and it doesn't look like that. Although I could see those trees in the background kind of moving back and forth, so a little breezy out there. We are looking at a 30% chance of showers, mainly for after 3 o'clock today. Mostly sunny, highs of 62 expected, and with that, the wind coming with it. West winds 15 to 20 this morning, shifting to the north and increasing 25 to 30. Could see wind gusts as high as 40 miles per hour this afternoon. A 20% chance of rain for the early evening hours till about 9 p.m. tonight. Mostly clear otherwise with an overnight low of 30. They use the word blustery tonight with a north wind 15 to 25 miles per hour. That will drop down 5 to 15 after midnight tonight. For you Friday, once again, sunny, highs in the low 60s, 61 tomorrow, but not as windy as today. Winds will be out of the northwest 5 to 10 miles per hour, and no rain chances as well, too. Friday night, clear skies with an overnight low of 31, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then looking at your weekend, warming back up, sunny on Saturday, highs back into the low 70s, 73 officially with west winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then Sunday, mostly sunny and breezy with a high of 81 expected. And then some rain chances re-enter the forecast. 20% Sunday night. We're looking at a 50% chance of rain Monday and Monday night, and then a 30% chance of showers on Tuesday. So looks like we got a good shot at maybe some moisture to start next week, too. We'll see how that shapes up. All right, it is 17 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're going to take about a 2.5-minute commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview we had earlier this week with Amy McVeigh-Tejas from the Historical Society for Southeast Mexico, talking scholarships. So that's coming up next. Don't go away.
If your tires are flat, need your car fixed, our reviews are better than mixed at Big O. At Big O Tires. We do the job fast and with a smile. Whatever the problem, we go the extra mile at Big O. At Big O Tires. Trusted service, no need to lie. Hop online, our reviews are high at Big O. At Big O Tires. Unbeatable service in all our stores. That's why we get such high scores at Big O. At Big O Tires.
You can trust the team at Big O Tires for great service and even better deals. Come in today and save up to $100 instantly on select in-stock sets of Cooper, Nitto, and Pirelli brand tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. Not valid with other offers. Valid at participating locations. Expires 3/27/2022.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers, we are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, Amy McVeigh is back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Good. How's your weekend?
It was good.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
And then a lot of basketball. So there you go.
Yes.
Hey, and Hook'em Horns, my Longhorn ladies. Woo! We're big champs.
Yeah. So are you moved on from basketball now? And now that I know high school's done and everything, college is still going.
We
March
just love
Madness,
this time of the year. You know, I'm a softball player all my life. Love the Art Sandoval's texting us from Oklahoma, and we're like, oh, come on, Art. That is so cool.
I was going to say, I didn't know if your attentions turned to more baseball, softball.
All of it.
Okay.
All of it. We just think, we've got some local kids, and we're just so happy they're playing and doing and everything. It's a fun amount of time. Yeah. It's a fun time to. That's why you and I were talking next week. And I said, I've got to come in and let's get these kids while they're on spring break applying for scholarships while they're doing all these amazing other things.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is this is the time. This is official sweet spot time.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in procrastination level yet, but you're weeks away from being a procrastinator.
That's right.
I believe you have through the end of this month to get your applications. Is it April 1 or March 31st?
It's April 1.
Okay, I couldn't remember earlier when I was trying to say it's either March 31st or April 1. I can't remember, but that's the end date right there at the end of the month.
And I want to congratulate all the kids that were accepted to the Teen Leadership Institute. I think we're right around 30, Mike.
Good deal.
And the cool thing is, I think almost half of them will get scholarships or some ratio
There's
like that. Pretty darn close. Yes.
So we can help out there a lot.
Huge thank you to everybody down in Artesia that helped support.
Thank you to the down south.
Chase Foundation came through right at the end, and it was like, boom, we got to add scholarships. So we want to thank every single, I don't have a sponsorship list in front of me, but every darn person, including New Mexico Military Institute. It's just a great opportunity. But those kids, if we've talked to you and you're accepted to Teen Leadership Institute, why don't you apply for these scholarships too?
Absolutely. Yeah, for those kids that did go to the program or are going to participate or didn't. Maybe you meant to apply and you missed the deadline and didn't get a chance to do it. Well, another opportunity. Thanks through some of our generous supporters and things at the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico. We've been able to provide scholarships here. You know, we have the Linda Hayes Trust. That's something.
I hope you're listening, Troy.
Yeah.
Because without you and the legacy of your wife, we wouldn't be able to be doing this.
The Hayes family have been actively partnering with us.
Yes.
Over these last, I don't know, how many years?
From the beginning, but not from the beginning.
Yeah.
Somebody said, they've been from the beginning. Well, I'm proud to say they jumped on that train, but they didn't help start the train.
Yeah.
But they're part of the train. That train is
that
moving.
train has kept going because of
100%.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So thanks to their family and their, where they took, in essence, taking something that's tragic for them and turning it into a positive by honoring the legacy of their family member and ensuring that the legacy of their family continues to help people long after family members are walking the earth with us here.
Wow.
And so every year it's more and more. Every year it seems like more money gets donated, more kids get to take advantage of this scholarship. And this year is no different here. We've got quite a bit of money that's going to be available to these kids that apply. There's multiple scholarships. So if you're a history buff, awesome. If you're into arts, if you're a person of character,
humanities and arts.
Humanities. It's not all just history. It's, some STEM, some humanities. Character is a big one as part of us as well too. So if you display these desires or these qualities, then we want you to apply. If you're this is open to high school seniors. To fill out, and it doesn't matter if you live here or in Tucumcari or wherever. We got kids from all over the state that have been applying for this scholarship over the years.
And we love to challenge those surrounding communities, because I'm going to say they're almost challenging our locals. It's kind of up to a balance. We've had so many Dexter and other areas that we need Roswell to step up too.
Yeah.
These amazing students around here don't take these things for granted. These kids around these little communities. Dexter's a prime example. There's been many years in the past when Dexter's part of it, and these private schools.
But then we even get kids from like these little historic areas,
100%.
Fort Sumner, Lincoln, those areas where they've been kind of lucky and grew up areas where, and we all are if you look, but where you could really throw a rock and there's a piece of history sitting next to you. That's kind of. I'm one of those lucky people growing up in the Maryland, D.C. area. History was all around me. And that's got to be. But kids, I gotta imagine growing up in Lincoln or Fort Sumner, or one of these towns that are known for a significant historical event. I imagine they get, because a lot of us don't always necessarily appreciate what's in our own backyard sometimes. But then again, also you're generally more expert in those things because you grew up around it too.
Right.
And so I'm just curious. So we do get a lot of kids that live in those, historical towns that we live in that do apply. But yeah, we get kids all over. So apply. If you're a high school senior and you're, a person of character, maybe you're going for a history or humanities or STEM related stuff.
Or more than one.
Yeah.
And a perfect example, I was texting and communicating with Tyler Whitaker. If you're here, I hope you're listening. He's an amazing example. He got one of our scholarships through the history category, and he's never not been a part of the society. But on the flip side, we need to remind individuals, you don't have to like history to impact our history and be part of the historical society. Let me say that again.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a history major to impact the history of our area.
Well, it's you know what? Candy Spence-Ezell, a state representative here, she has a saying, if you eat food, you're involved in ag industry.
That's right.
If you're breathing,
that's right.
You're part of history.
100%. We've said that. And I think, Mike, we were talking about it. It absolutely looks like we're going to be able to work things out and have fourth grade school tours, which is a goosebumpy moment for me. That's when it. But it's at that moment, Mike, when those little fourth graders look in your eyes and they realize, I'm part of history, me?
Yeah.
Oh, this is how it started, and now I'm part of this?
Sure.
And if there's power in our locals to make those connections so that at that age they'll realize how significant they are, and they have to consider coming back to Roswell.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's powerful. And we love to embrace every community, every child, and that's the good part. But we want to encourage these kids. There is something to be said about applying early. So apply today.
Yeah.
You can go to roswellnmhistory.org. You will see, they're all the Google Docs.
Yeah, you can see all the scholarship opportunities.
And they're big scholarships. So 2 in each category, 2 in humanities and arts, 2 in STEM, and 2 in character for $1,250. That's a lot of money.
Absolutely.
And even if you're challenged in one way or another and think, I can't, with so many wonderful things going on in the state of New Mexico, there's great opportunities for schooling and college.
Absolutely.
But this single-handedly right here could sure help you right out here at our local amazingness, right here.
Yeah.
Speaking about amazingness, we have it right out here at our base.
Yeah.
And they support almost everything we do, and that is ENMUR.
Absolutely.
We can never thank them enough. They're part of the Historical Society. Every time the TLI Fund, what are they doing? They're helping. It's Historical Society. They're a part of everything.
They're a community entity.
They are. And I would think it's amazing for one of these kids that can go right back out there.
Sure.
So apply today.
But be understanding these scholarships are good wherever you go. You're not obligated to go to Eastern or any.
These checks will go directly to you, and that's something I want to thank Troy for personal.
I guess an accredited institution.
That's
where
right.
It'll go,
Personal.
so.
Well, and you know what else? Troy has said that whatever the need is, these checks.
Yeah.
And we've heard of these things. Troy always gives this example of a kid that was on a full ride and couldn't afford to get where. That's a perfect example.
And this is exactly why we have this.
Exactly. Those checks will go directly to the students.
And you talk about ENMUR, they're the same way. They're a college that serve our needs of this community. Yes. So if our businesses and our nonprofits and our education and all of our community need programs that better suit our community, ENMUR is always the ones that create and make that happen. Right. So that's something I love. That's for sure. That's something that's different. What ENMUR or a college like it provides than versus going to UNM or an established, whatever Harvard or whatever it is. That college is. I mean, it uses the lay land. Fortunately, it's an old Air Force base. So
talk about history,
drones, aviation industry. All that's very much part of the fabric of that college, and that's why it's got a unique role of getting pilot's license, doing those things that other colleges of that level don't do.
People travel all over the world to go back to our amazing air base, and I hope those kids don't take that for granted too.
Absolutely.
They're on very sovereign historical area.
Yeah.
Also, if you're listening and you think, I'm not listening because I don't have anything to do with scholarships, and that's not. I've been there, done that.
But you have family members or friends.
You have
that do.
family members, or you may have the golden opportunity to allow us to give out one more scholarship.
Maybe you got a coworker that has a kid that's around a senior in high school.
So
if
you're a business and you could call and say, you know what, these kids have had some challenging years.
Sure.
Boy, have they. Talk about character. To me, the majority of all these students, if you're in school right now, you've exemplified character.
Sure.
You've made it here. Mm-hmm. You've done everything you had to do to make it here. So if you're listening and can make another scholarship possible, which we've had that happen.
We'd love to have you.
We've had that happen.
Sure.
So
and this is kind of a good time of year
for that.
That's like
sugar on top, cherry on top.
It's kind of a good time of year for that because, thanks to the Hayes family and things, we're able to do these scholarships, but it also spreads the beacon where people are like, that's a great idea. I would love to help out. And then they call us up and say, hey, if I got you a couple grand, can you be the stewards of that to give out? And we do that for folks all the time.
I couldn't think of another way to honor or do a memoriam, if you will. I'll give you an example. We had some monies donated in celebration of the life of Judge Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Those went directly into scholarships, like with the Mexico Youth Challenge. Mm-hmm. What better way? We have lost some golden treasures lately, all ages, all so unique and special. What better way than to celebrate a life by giving life, if you will, and that would be education. So consider making a memorial tribute. We have a scholarship level membership. You could become a scholarship member and give another scholarship, and that is amazing. Yeah. It's not all about us. Don't get me started. We need to talk about times are hard for the Historical Society on a total different note.
We serve as a conduit for many other things.
We do. If you give
deal.
that as scholarship money, that's scholarship money. And yes, the other day, I hope you're listening, Jason. Jason walked right in the back door and he said, Amy, it's freezing in here. Well, it's freezing in there because I like it that way.
Saving the money.
And we're saving the money.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, that money that's given for scholarships, you're right. You can look at our financials every time.
Absolutely.
We may have a large amount for scholarship, and we may not have much else.
Sure.
That's still scholarship money. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Let's face it. We beat our heads against the wall trying to keep a very old and historic building, a beautiful building, but an old building nonetheless that needs to be maintained. And in ideal situation scenarios where we live in a perfect world and supply and demand's not crazy and goofy and all that, it's very expensive to maintain and to do that facility justice and preserving it the way it is for generations beyond us to go see that. It's a charge that it's not an easy charge because you've got to.
It's not.
When you do renovate, upgrade, build on that thing, you've got to try to keep it historically right. Which means material things in some cases aren't techniques that are done anymore or materials that are done anymore. And so once we even say, hey, yeah, we got the material, then we got to find the labor that can actually do that technique or what it is. There are so many X variables when it comes to maintaining and preserving
100%.
a historical
Our country
facility.
battles that all the time, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, if we put things off, let's be very clear.
Sure.
There's
So
a
that's
thing called maintaining, but then there's a thing called if we put it off, it's going to come back. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, we're excited about scholarships. The downside is we're going to be cutting a check today to put a down payment to do more work on, the structure of our foundation.
Yeah, we have a foundation on an old building that has cracks in it and things,
and we're on part 2 or 3, or that's not part 2. They've done what they've needed to do up to now. We did some, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're doing more.
Yeah.
So in
and
a
that's
lump
really
sum,
all separate from the scholarships. And
100%, 100%.
That's kind of our day job stuff, and this stuff is also.
We will never, it's like you say, it's a piece of the pie. We've got a big pie, and a huge part of it is celebrating our youth living by the mission, which we always living and breathing will. Our future is our future. We're going to invest in our kids through 4th grade school tours and scholarships.
Yeah.
Separate piece of the pie. That house is a very significant piece of that pie, and we will be investing in more foundational work in excess of over almost $35,000 today, and we need your help.
Yeah.
And
we don't worry, we're not done fundraising. We got some stuff.
Not.
But here in a couple of weeks, we'll probably announce some dates and things.
We're doing a lot of fundraising, Mike.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we're taking. Thank you for one thing. We're taking a lot of loose change drive containers around Roswell. I believe there's between 10 and 20 companies that said, I want a container. I'm delivering those today. So if you say, I can't cut a big check.
That's a great way to help
every
us.
pennies, we will even deliver the container. We've got the laminated little form showing loose change drive. Give us a call. We'd love to. And yes, if you ask for one, I'll be delivering those today. It's been crazy. So we'll be delivering loose change drive containers. That's the way, or even collect it at home. Do it as a family, or encourage your kids to know that you can save up to invest in something.
Absolutely.
And whether it's us or helping somewhere else, it's never about just about us.
Yeah.
We're always willing to help others.
But I know we just met last week here, so in the coming months, expect a couple events, another book fair coming up.
Yes.
We've got I'm not ready to release everything, but we got heritage dinner plans that we're going to unveil here pretty quick.
We're going to call it it's going to be a celebration of all the heritage dinners, and that's a really cool thing. So if you say, what in the heck is the heritage dinner? Maybe you're new to town or you don't even know. Please call the Historical Society. We have honored over the last 40 years amazingness. I like to use that word.
Yeah,
amazingness.
It's not just. Sometimes it's an individual. Sometimes it's a family. Sometimes it's an organization or a business or something that's just part. I mean, we've done everything from like what you would call Excel, or we've done that.
Dairy, or baseball,
the Lions World Series championship too. We've honored individuals, families. Rick Kraft was even an honoree many moons ago there too. One of the
and we've also lost some of these honorees, and we're going to take a moment to celebrate them, which I think that's a wonderful opportunity. So we're really excited. We do have a drive-through coming up, and it's going to be elevated.
Yeah.
That's a nice word.
But we'll talk more about that and stuff. But those are kind of fundraising stuff that we want to do for the house and things like that. But the scholarships are separate altogether. And that's all. And all of that money is through generous people that have set up and said, you know what, I want to give back. The Hayes family is obviously one of our major ones, but there are others that have stepped up and done the same thing too. And we're very appreciative of them. We've got some folks that have really, and this isn't even just scholarship, but we have some people. We joke about me and tights and all those kind of things. But thanks to some of those folks, we're able to do what we do too.
And I'm glad you mentioned that too, because Mike, one of our friends. Hello, our buddy from California that's, just had some challenges lately.
Yeah.
I want to say, if you're listening, Mike and I have been talking. He's working on one of the challenges.
Yes.
But
by the way, Carson Wentz being my quarterback now doesn't make me feel that excited about getting these things and much more anyway. I'm going to do it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Carson Wentz was a huge letdown from Russell Wilson, just saying. I was like, we're going after Russell Wilson. Yeah, we didn't get him. Here's Carson Wentz. Oh. All right.
Hey, Mike, it can always be worse. And you be proud.
I've seen worse.
Through our pinnacle of times, and hey, we all have them. But so we're working on that. But our buddy that's listening, let's put another challenge out there. Mike's done a lot of things. And maybe you just need to smile. I think you've had some challenges lately. I would love to partner with Mike, and let's give a smile. So we're working on one. And let's see what else we can come up with.
Yeah.
So give me a call. I'm all in.
Yeah, we're having
I'm
fun.
all in to make Mike do something crazy and make a imbecile out of himself.
Well, and that's what I think. It's all for fun. And at the end of the day, people
We
learn
all
about
need
the
to
good
have
things,
fun.
and they learn it
Yes.
because I did something stupid. Then that's fine with that. I'm okay with
for
that.
you, right? I'm
It
just
is.
kidding.
But it is. I'm. This is my show. Really, it is. Because I say and do dumb things on this show in the hopes that you're entertained by it. And then you learn about scholarships at the Historical
And
Society.
amazing. And
Or
we've
you
had
learn
a lot
about-
of fun. You know
Yeah.
what, though, Mike? You may do crazy things, but at the end of the day, I've had the honor of you in more than one capacity to impact the life of others.
Yeah.
And that's what matters.
And that's what
we
that-
can
it does.
laugh all we want, but we can laugh, bless, and help while having a good time. Blah, blah, blah.
Nothing makes me happier than when I hear someone say, "Man, when after we're talking to you on the radio, I had 20 people come to me and say something about my thing," and that makes me so happy because I'm like, good.
Yes.
Then what we did here today
And
was
with
the
that,
point of
this
that.
radio station, y'all make that happen. So through laughing and smiling, and by the way, Gene Dow, thank you for helping us down there.
Yeah, he
That's a
hired
cool
me, so
thing to-
he gets it too. If he didn't, obviously, I wouldn't be hanging around much
But I
longer,
love, we're all one big happy family,
Yeah.
reaching out, helping, and that's a perfect. Gene is helping us, and he doesn't even know it, but he does. And
Sure.
thank you. I mean, we're all in this together.
Well, I think by just doing little acts of things that
Yes.
people do, you don't realize the footprint that you carry
Mm-hmm.
and the differences you make. And just because you did something little like bought the guy behind you a cup of coffee through the drive-thru or something like that, those little things are the difference. You know, you never know. That person behind you may have been ready to kill himself. You don't know.
You don't know.
And then that little act
don't
just
know.
said, you know what? I mean, that's, I don't know how many times I hear people do random little acts of kindness. And it's not even hard stuff. Stuff like
No.
buying someone lunch or
Easy.
or giving someone the parking space.
Things we take for granted all the time.
And you don't realize that act of kindness just turned that person's day into something that
Yep.
was going god awful for them. And now they're like, you know what? Maybe they got a little faith in humanity again. Or they got,
Yes.
and that's the kind of stuff, if we all did one little thing like that.
For sure.
we'd be good to
Speaking
go.
of fun things, Mike, I want to remind people listening to mark their calendar for September the 17th.
Okay.
That's a date you're going to want to mark the calendar.
Okay.
We've got our, and we'll give more information, and I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag,
Sure,
if you
spill
will.
all the beans.
But the Living Museum is coming back.
Oh, good.
And that's really exciting.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, literally, they were doing research in our archive facility
Good.
on those hidden.
Another great organization
those
that does good
hidden
stuff.
gems. Man, they're really polishing off some gems and finding those hidden gems that you think I know all about. I've been here. No.
Which,
there's
by the
some
way,
hidden
I'm going to throw a
gems.
plug. If you've got a youth that loves and looking
Yes.
for opportunities, the
Yes.
Kids Arts Program, CAPS program,
Yes.
it's part of the Roswell Community Little Theater. On the surface, they have a bunch of kids and they learn theater and they learn all aspects of theater.
Yes.
At the surface, that's what the organization is, but it's so much deeper than that. And what I mean by that is they're learning life skills, like you said.
are.
They're one of their big things, the Graveside Manor, where they go out to the
Right.
to the
I think that
cemetery
we'll
and
be
do the.
partnering with them with that next year.
Yeah.
So
But
that I
that's the
understand.
kind of stuff they do, and they've been
Yes.
partnering with us over the last couple of years doing some of these living history events and things.
Exciting.
So yes, they're learning theater. They're learning, not just how to act and how to sing, but how to do set design. They're learning all aspects
And
of
Mike,
it.
we're
But they're also
connecting-
learning about
We're
people.
connecting dots. The cool thing about that event,
Yeah.
then we're going to have Vitaliant out there all at the same
good.
time.
Blood drives doing
so
their
I've got to love it. So, we're intentional partnering with CAPS and the society to do fundraising, but also giving back in other capacities also. Another way, we've got a lot of events coming up. Graduation will be coming up and
Yeah.
things. Rent our archive facility, consider that. We've done some rented it out for people doing trainings.
Yeah.
Have a private reception this weekend and some fun things. It's a great opportunity. You can help us. We'll set it up. We'll do the cleaning.
Yeah.
And call 622-8333 for more information. If you're listening and get our newsletter and you have not renewed, memberships are down. And yes, Fred Boggs, if you're listening, he's the man looking at all that stuff. Our memberships are down.
Yeah.
Well, things have happened. Our newsletter went out a little bit late.
People
And now,
are cutting
guess what?
expenses, too.
They're cutting expenses,
Sure.
but every little bit counts. And even if you can renew as low as $30,
Yes, for as little as
you'll help us.
$30, you can be a
100%.
member, and all of that helps.
Just
keep,
because
keep
you
things
can't be a
going.
golden or diamond member, we just want you to be a member.
Sure, absolutely.
In any way you can, if you can. And if
Absolutely.
not, collect coins and do whatever.
And I also want to remind folks that that the Historical Society is at your disposal. If you're wanting to we do private tours and things now. That's been kind of a
doing
thing
them
we're
on the
really have found a lot of success with, or people love.
We have.
Just give us a call, or even just come by and visit during the day if somebody's there, and we
Right.
can do a private tour for you.
Yes.
We prefer you give us a call
We
ahead.
really
That way you can line up
ask that
docents
you
and
give an
things.
advance notice, because we had an example. I was working upstairs in the archives facility and missed somebody.
But people do pop by.
Yeah, they do pop by. Pop by. If you see vehicles, ring the doorbell or call 622-8333, and we'll be happy to make those arrangements. And if we're around, 100%, we'll help in any way possible. Pop in to get a book or anything.
And in another way, we also, even if you're kind of like, okay, I'm not here to research per se or see the house, but maybe you want to decorate your office or your home with local photos and things. Our archives facility, people make donations all the time for some of our old photos and things, for a copy of them, obviously, that they can use to make as part of their decor of their homes or their offices or their business or whatever.
We're really getting excited for that 100th anniversary for the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, and every time I see them, I get excited. We're looking at pictures and doing fun things. So that's one, or just taking a trip down memory lane. I think that's one thing we're going to do with our drive-through. And Rick Kraft is a perfect example. When you go to his office, you absolutely take a trip down memory lane, which I think is amazing.
Sure.
And I think other offices could take a trip down memory lane and celebrate.
Yeah, and we can help do all that too.
We sure can.
And then, of course, we're talking. There's more to come on this, but look for more about fourth grade tours here and things. We got some updates on that. We'll
Working
be
on that.
sharing here in the
Working
future.
with the school district to get those things figured out.
But even if your child didn't get a chance to participate in fourth grade tours, or they're not young yet, don't mean you can't do it on your own with your families. Just like I said, call us. We'd love to have you come by for a visit. Come see the home. Come bring your family out and get involved.
I have a sweet homeschool family that showed up, wanted a tour, and they're homeschooled. And I gave them some challenges. I said, here's the challenges. And so Dad just called me and said, okay, we've completed our challenge. What's the next step? So they're coming back. They're going to get a tour, and we're going to give them other challenges.
Cool.
I'm all in on that. So let's say you have a child that missed the fourth grade school tour. Doesn't mean if you don't give us a call. Let's say last year you missed fourth grade school tour and they said, oh, my son didn't get to. Doesn't mean you couldn't call, make an appointment. Does not mean your fourth grader that's not fifth grader would not get a backpack, because I'm willing to back that up. We have backpacks, and we would be happy to do some challenges.
We have some people that donated some great stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm all in for the challenges. And yes, if you back it up, I'm going to back up on my end.
Gotcha.
And as you've said it on the radio many times, I'm all about blessings.
Yeah.
So if any family, child, or whatever want to have some fun over spring break and do some challenges, and at the end of the day, the kids will get blessings, I'm all in.
Absolutely.
Call 622-8333 and say, what does the challenge mean? Well, you can do one sitting at home right now.
Sure.
By watching our video. If you call me, I'll give you a challenge. You can do it, and you wouldn't even have to leave your house.
Sure. Yeah, you can do it in your underwear.
That's right.
I mean,
You
it's up to
could.
you.
The drama is, that is up to, what happens in your house
That's
stays
right.
at your house, but you could literally celebrate history from your couch. Call me, and I'll let you know about more, and you can get a blessing from doing it. So there you go.
Absolutely. The website you want to check out, roswellnmhistory.org. If you're interested in the scholarships we were talking about here, you'll find the applications there. You'll find all the information on which ones to apply for, what the requirements are, et cetera. Of course, the deadlines, which April 1 is the drop dead deadline. And I'm going to tell you right now, put some heart into your discussions, in your essays and things. I know I'm going to tick off a couple people, but I want you to make it very hard for the selection committee to get
That's so cruel. It's already hard.
It's very hard.
And now he's challenging to make it worse. Thanks, Mike. You're going to scare off some of our committee.
Here's what happens is they want to get it to everybody because they get such great stories. They get great. We got some fine, and they all deserve it. They all do deserve it, and you want it. And that's why we try to raise as much money so we can make it easier for them. They're like, well, just give money because we got it. They deserve it. And so if you want to make it hard, give them really good essays. If you want to make it easier, contribute to the pot so they can give out more scholarships.
Oh, for sure. While I'm thinking about it too, Mike, that fun art NM event that's going to happen at the RMAC coming up on April the 9th.
Yes.
I'm really excited about that
We're going to be involved
the
a little bit.
Historical Society booth is all about bow tie art.
Oh, nice.
Celebrating Judge Alvin Jones. That the April month will be our Character Counts Week.
Okay.
So if you come visit the Historical Society with partnership with CAP's booth, we're going to be celebrating history, character, all through bow tie art. We're going to have a lot of fun. Wear your bow tie to that event.
Sure.
Celebrate Judge Jones. Celebrate character. Celebrate history. Be part of the CAPS program, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
So put your bow tie on. Hey, if you're going to that event, throw a bow tie on.
Yeah.
And be creative and bring some bow tie art to that booth. We're going to have fun with that.
Real quick, changing gears, just we're about to go. Character counts is right now the middle of the Teachers of Character nominations and all that. That's going on right now.
Thank you for asking. If you say, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Those Teacher of Character nominations have gone out.
Yes.
I know Tim Fuller's busy over spring break. I'm sure he's doing something somewhere because he's always doing it, as we all are. But if you want to call the museum at 622-8333, and thank you for high five, Mike.
Yeah.
If you want to make those nominations during spring break, you can give me a call. I would be happy to email you.
Okay.
Because those nominations are going on right now.
I knew that we're right in the middle of all that.
Teacher of Character Week is the latter part of April, so it's a perfect time to celebrate character in your business, in your home. Do the Teacher of Character, honoring the badge, all that's in. Mark your calendars also, because there will be cleaning up of the areas too. Our cleanup out on the highway also.
Our teachers have done so much over the last couple of years to bust their tails to provide the best for your kids and our kids. This is a way to give back to them a little bit. All those teachers that have went above and beyond for you and your family over this time, this is your chance to nominate them and give them a little bit of credit.
Give them some sunshine.
I'm telling you, it does make a difference. It
well,
really
and we're
does.
doing the character counts, and yes, we are switching gears because I'm the president of Character Counts. Shout out to Tim Fuller, that's executive director. This is the time to give sunshine to these people that really need it.
Absolutely.
So get involved. You're welcome to call 622-8333 for more information.
Yeah.
I'll forward the information on to you.
What's the drop dead deadline that they have to get those into you guys by?
That's a good question. I believe, don't hold me to it, but I believe it's April 1 too, because I was laughing. I think I'm involved with 3 different organizations that all have an April 1 deadline. I think that means I'm going to be doing a lot of work after that.
Yeah, so if you see Amy around the April 1, run around like a crazy person.
Please
that's why.
don't ask for favors around that time. I'm going to have a big plate, and I don't know if I'll be going home those nights or whatever.
But she'll be fulfilled because there's going to be a lot of good stuff happening
for
around
sure.
that
It's
time.
what it's all about.
She'll be spent but fulfilled. So.
I'll be happy. That's right.
Again, RoswellNMHistory.org. Anything. Of course, if you're interested in buying books or Peter Herd prints, you'll find all of that there
Give us
too.
a call. Got somebody picking up a book. Call 622-8333. You're welcome to stop by and pick up a book.
All right.
Herd prints, all those fun things.
Absolutely. And thank you for everyone that supports the Historical Society.
100%.
And continues,
Thank you.
Especially those ones out there that have really stepped up over the years and continue to do so.
Thank you doesn't seem like enough,
Thank
but
you
you're
guys.
impacting history, and
Absolutely.
we appreciate it.
Thank you. We can't keep doing dumb things here without your support and effort. So we thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
All right, 8:55.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Construction on East Rose Street at the intersection of East Rose and Old Cavern is now underway. Residents and businesses will always have access to their properties during the construction activities. However, signage is in place to slow and shift traffic on Old Cavern and East Rose Street will be closed to through traffic. The project consists of installing new sewer force mains, installation of new sewer manholes, street patching, and other roadway work and work items for completion of the project. The project is scheduled to be finished by the end of April. A Carlsbad man is identified as the victim in a deadly crash with a semi Tuesday. 70-year-old Cecil Parks was killed after colliding with the semi near Eddy County Road 206 and State Highway 200, according to state police. Troopers said Marks attempted to merge onto the highway when his pickup truck sideswiped the semi. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Every once in a while, legislators in California come up with an idea for a great law. Try this one on for size. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. Would you support a new law that would allow parents to sue social media websites that they believe addicted children using features and tricks that promote compulsive and addictive use? The Wall Street Journal reports that 2 California legislators have introduced such a bill. But there's more. 4 U.S. senators and a congressman have similar legislation. All this follows the documentary, The Social Dilemma, and the Facebook whistleblower, Frances Haugen. Both presented compelling evidence that Facebook, Instagram, and others do exactly what these bills would let parents sue for. It's clear to me that there are profound psychological consequences of these big social media companies' business models. Hopefully, these bills will become law. Parents can't do it alone. Get more tech news every day at Commando.com. I know we probably have a lot of entrepreneurs and small business owners listening right this very second. The Commando community is a hardworking group, so today, I want to share a tip that will help your business run even more efficiently. Are you ready? Ditch the laser printer and get an Epson EcoTank Pro. This durable printer is my top pick for small businesses. No more being stingy with your marketing materials or the beautiful project plans you've cooked up. The EcoTank Pro uses big ink tanks and comes with a ridiculous amount of ink, so you can print in vibrant color without ever buying pricey toner cartridges again. Spend that money on something else to power your business. Maybe a nice espresso machine, employee indoor skydiving, schedule a brainstorm. The Epson EcoTank Pro. Just fill and chill. Pick up your EcoTank Pro at Best Buy, Office Depot, Office Max Staples, and at Epson.com/EcoTankKim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty wind today as low pressure and a cold front cross our area. Our high stays around 60, and we do have a slight chance of a shower or two around the Roswell area. Fair elsewhere. Partly cloudy overnight and upper 20s and breezy, and then we get sunshine back on Friday, but still cool. We'll be in the low 60s, back into the 70s and fair for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Do you know the All-Star basketball games are coming up this Friday and Saturday? Actually, all the games are on Saturday, but the season only ended last Saturday. That's how fast they do it these days. It's red versus green, and for the big schools, these games will take place in Santa Fe, and we want to wish congratulations to Alexis Sandoval from Goddard. She will be on the girls basketball, the 4A, 5A green team. As far as the small schools, 1A through 3A, these games will be on Saturday in Melrose. Robert De La Cruz from Hagerman picked for the boys team, and on the girls side, Nayeli Kobos from Dexter and Hannah Lilly from Gateway Christian were both picked. That game will be at 1 o'clock on Saturday in Melrose. Congratulations. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. After beginning the year spending in a big way, Americans slowed their spending last month on gadgets, home furnishings, and other discretionary items as higher prices for food, gasoline, and shelter are taking a bigger bite out of their wallets. Americans who have long enjoyed the benefits of historically low interest rates will have to adapt to a very different environment as the Federal Reserve embarks on what's likely to be a prolonged period of rate hikes to fight inflation. BMW and Volkswagen warned this week that Russia's invasion of Ukraine is causing shortages of some vital components, forcing them to reduce vehicle production in Europe. The two German car makers said the war is having a negative effect on auto supply chains, which have already been battered by shortages of semiconductors. BMW said Wednesday that bottlenecks at its suppliers in Ukraine have forced the automaker to adjust. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county, or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
There's nothing like a good night's sleep. But if your old, worn-out mattress is keeping you up at night, then hurry to Glenn's Furniture and change your life. Glenn's carries Serta, the finest mattress in the world. Whether you prefer a traditional inner spring, a modern memory foam, or a hybrid that combines the best of both, Glenn's has the right size and right firmness in stock, specially priced and ready for free delivery. So don't lay awake another night. Head for Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, making sweet dreams since 1953.
Get Second Amendment savings now through the end of March at LGS Guns and Ammo. The authority for everything guns and ammo in Southeast New Mexico is having their annual high caliber tax refund sale. Save up to 15% on all accessories, 10% on all guns store-wide, and 15% off all Liberty safes. The annual high-caliber tax refund sale is on now at LGS Guns and Ammo, Southeastern New Mexico's authority for guns and ammunition, across from Target and Roswell, and at 109 North Del Paso in Hobbs. Get smoking hot deals during the sizzling savings event at Roswell Nissan, like a 2015 Ford F-150 for just $307 a month, or a 2010 Honda Odyssey for just $149 a month. And join Roswell Nissan March 26th from 10 to 1 for free food, stuff for the kiddos, and your chance to win a Masterbuilt 30-inch electric smoker. 1 entry for stopping by, 3 entries with a test drive or service, and 5 entries with a purchase. Drawing March 26th at 1, must be present to win. Get a Home Depot gift card with a test drive and a portable grill and a chance at the cash grab just for stopping by. On now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour at townhall.com. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Biden yesterday announcing new funding for military aid to Ukraine.
An additional $800 million in assistance. That brings the total of new U.S. security assistance to Ukraine to $1 billion just this week.
And the president's announcement came after comments made by the president of Ukraine to the U.S. Congress appealing for more aid, talking about this historic moment in his country because of the Russian invasion.
Remember Pearl Harbor, terrible morning of December 7, 1941, when your sky was black from the planes attacking you.
Meanwhile, debate in Congress continues over the good idea or bad idea to have a no-fly zone in Eastern Europe to stave off Russian aggression. U.S. Congressman Mike Gallagher says whatever you believe about sending MiG-29s via Poland, the process that led President Biden to reject the idea was in itself seriously flawed.
Signaling. The Secretary of State signaled that we were in favor of it. Then the Secretary of Defense signaled the opposite. And then ultimately the president himself vetoed the decision. That was a disaster.
And Congressman Gallagher, interviewed by the Salem Radio Network. As the U.S. struggles with surging energy prices, Republicans say the administration has slowed its approval of new oil and natural gas drilling leases, even as it reaches out to the nation's adversaries, asking them for more.
I will point out how absurd it is to go to Nicolas Maduro, a man that the United States government does not even recognize as the legitimate head of state in Venezuela, to ask him to produce more oil, or to go to the Ayatollahs and hope that they'll produce more oil.
That's Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton. He was interviewed by the Salem Radio Network. Early trading on Wall Street has the Dow up by 2 points at this hour. The NASDAQ is up by about 36. More of these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, I'm cute kid number 1. And I'm cute kid number 2. And we have been forced, you mean hired? We have been hired to tell you what direct lender FOMO is. So let's say you buy a new home, and maybe you use one of those big mortgage monsters. Or someone your realtor or friend recommends. And then a few months later, you hear us being forced, hired to tell you about our mortgage team's direct lender advantage. And then you feel like you missed out, because you probably did miss out. And that is direct lender FOMO.
It's Ryan, and our mortgage team is an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender, which means our company gets to use its own money and make its own decisions within its own walls. There's no middleman. This often allows us to get you a better rate on that new home mortgage, saving you monthly and lifelong money. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLS-Consumer-Access.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. My bracket NMLS number 65233. Equal housing lender. I licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
The House GOP campaign arm has rolled out the latest round of candidates in its Young Guns program. Correspondent Bernie Bennett has more.
The second round of candidates in the program include Tom Barrett in Michigan's 7th Congressional District, Scott Baugh in California's 47th, Juan Ciscomani in Arizona's 6th, John James in Michigan's 10th Congressional District, Jen Kiggins in Virginia's 2nd, Tyler Kitzner in Minnesota's 2nd, Lisa Scheller in Pennsylvania's 7th, and Alex Skarlatos in Arizona's 4th. Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy says the GOP intends to retake control of the House. A number of polls show the GOP leading the generic ballots ahead of the midterms. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
A salvage team and naval architects are working together to figure out how to free a cargo ship stuck in the Chesapeake Bay. The U.S. Coast Guard says the Ever Forward ran aground Sunday night while traveling from the port of Baltimore to Norfolk, Virginia. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Pfizer is reportedly seeking approval for a 4th COVID dose for seniors.
The AP has learned that drug maker Pfizer is expected to ask for authorization this week for an additional COVID-19 booster shot for seniors. That's according to a person familiar with the matter who spoke on the condition of anonymity. That would add a 4th dose to the regimen, which currently consists of a primary series of 2 shots, followed months later by a booster dose. This is all in an effort to provide maximum protection to the over 65 population that has been hit hardest by the pandemic. The Food and Drug Administration and the CDC must approve the request. I'm Shelley Adler.
More than 60 workers across 3 Amazon delivery stations staged a walkout on Wednesday. The workers demanding a $3 per hour raise in their pay and a return to 20-minute breaks. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. Roy's on his way to say deuce. Where's my pen? I was wondering where that pen went.
The deuce.
There it is. Thank you, Roy. Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Yes.
Get your green on. Enjoy your day. Pinch those who do not wear green and remind them today's St. Patrick's Day.
Just not me.
And don't be that person that says, I got a green stripe here on this sock or this hidden, I have a green something in my pocket. No, does not count.
Yeah.
You're subjugated to pinching if you do not. So, sorry. It's the rules. I didn't make them up. That's just the rules. It's like I don't play. Sorry. Not your choice. It's the world we live in.
I wonder who made up that rule, honestly.
About pinching?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure it's a Google search away. But I don't feel like looking that up right now.
It's like, wear my country's colors or else you get the pinch.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, there's a whole thing about the snakes and everything with St. Patrick's and bringing the snakes out of Ireland, and that's the legend, you know. I did see a funny meme on Facebook yesterday, and it was Blind Date Gone Bad, and it was St. Patrick and Medusa, and there's Here's St. Patrick sitting at the dinner table with Medusa and all her snakes are going on her head. She's just sitting there bald, all upset. It's kind of funny. Made me laugh. But happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Hope you're having a delightful one thus far. We're going to play an interview we had on Monday with gubernatorial candidate Greg Zanetti. He joined us for a great discussion, talking mostly, not so much about his candidacy, a little bit, but mostly about Russia and what's going on there, and kind of breaking down some of the, so a lot of, in general terms, it's not, specific date-to-date stuff, but just kind of the thought process and why they're doing what and what he thinks will happen next, that kind of stuff. So great interview. And if you don't know, you're like, well, he's a governor candidate. What's that got to do with? He's a former general. He was the highest ranking officer here in the National Guard in New Mexico. He was base commander of Guantanamo Bay back during the Obama administration, back when they closed it down. He was running Gitmo there, so he knows a thing or two about military stuff and strategy and all that stuff. So we're going to play that interview for you here in just a few minutes. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety, along with your Town Hall Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. There's something else I was going to mention, just completely spaced out about it. I forgot all about it. Oh, well. Hey, I do want to invite folks out to a dance this weekend. It's that time again. Get ready to dance to the music of Cibolo Springs. They're going to be performing this weekend at Westminster Presbyterian Church, which is on 4th Street, 281 West 4th, over right behind Champion Motorsports and all that there. They're going to be having the dance in the Fellowship Hall this Saturday from 6 to 9 p.m. Dance to Cindy Richardson's 50s and 60s rock and roll, or Marvin Roberts' country western. Admission is $5. Light refreshments will be served as well. If you have any questions, want some more information, you can reach out to Tom Blake, 575-622-2801, or Bob Power, 575-910-4648. So, get your dancing shoes on, and maybe if you botched today in St. Patrick's Day, you can make it up to your date by taking them out to the dance on Saturday with Cibolo Springs and Cindy Richardson and Marvin Roberts, and get your dancing shoes on. Looks like it'll be a little rock and roll, a little country western, a little bit of everything for everybody there. So it's a good night to have some fun. All right, it is 11 minutes after 8. Let's go ahead and take a look at that weather. Going to be windier today.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty wind today as low pressure and a cold front cross our area. Our high stays around 60, and we do have a slight chance of a shower or two around the Roswell area. Fair elsewhere. Partly cloudy overnight and upper 20s and breezy, and then we get sunshine back on Friday, but still cool. We'll be in the low 60s, back into the 70s, and fair for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 55 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 42%. Winds currently out of the west at 15, gusting to 28 miles per hour. We are looking at a 30% chance of showers for today, but for the afternoon, mainly after 3 o'clock today. Mostly sunny, high of only 62. So we were 80-something, near 80 yesterday. We're going to drop down to 62 today. Because winds are coming. Winds are actually here already, but not like all the winds that we could be getting. They're going to say northwest winds this morning. Actually, they're just saying now it's just going to be windy. They're saying winds out of the northwest 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour today. Tonight we're looking at a 20% chance of showers. So between mainly before 9 p.m. So between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. is our sweet spot for showers today. Mostly clear otherwise with an overnight low of 30. Winds will be blustery tonight out of the north, 15 to 25 miles per hour. Those winds will drop down 5 to 15 after midnight. Friday, sunny 61 tomorrow, not as windy. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, clear skies with an overnight low of 31. South winds 5 to 10. And then warming up some for your weekend, sunny and 73 on Saturday with west winds 5 to 10. Mostly sunny and breezy on Sunday with a high of 81. And then they're saying there's a chance more rain showers Sunday night at 20%, 50% chance of rain Monday and Monday night, and a 30% chance of rain on Tuesday. So we'll see if that lingers around over the next couple days, and maybe we'll get some more moisture to start next week. All right, it is 13 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute commercial break, and then on the other side of the break, our interview we had earlier this week with gubernatorial candidate Greg Zanetti. That's up next. Don't go away.
Get smoking hot deals during the sizzling savings event at Roswell Nissan. Like a 2015 Ford F-150 for just $307 a month, or a 2010 Honda Odyssey for just $149 a month. And join Roswell Nissan March 26th from 10 to 1 for free food, stuff for the kiddos, and your chance to win a Masterbuilt 30-inch electric smoker. 1 entry for stopping by, 3 entries with a test drive or service, and 5 entries with a purchase. Drawing March 26th at 1, must be present to win. Get a Home Depot gift card with a test drive and a portable grill and a chance at the cash grab just for stopping by. On now at Roswell Nissan. 2111 West 2nd.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than the average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second upload and download speed. With Faster, get true 500 meg. And with Fastest, get 16 gigs of download and upload speeds. Learn more at plateaufiber.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Simon the Magician's request in Acts 8 was motivated by the same illusion of power that drives so many people in today's business, political, and entertainment areas. Popular culture invests actors, sports figures, and other celebrities with the appearance of unusual significance. Even among Christians, there exists a strong tendency to create power figures out of preachers, singers, writers, and even megachurch leaders. But God's power has little or nothing to do with outward appearances or worldly acclaim. Simon had adopted the world's perspective on power. Showered with uncritical praise, he became obsessed with himself and his supposed importance. Tragically, he viewed others through the same distorted lens. What about you? Have you given in to the illusion of power? Or do you listen to those who aren't impressed with your status and will level with you about your weaknesses? How much do status and position define who you are? Suppose you were to lose it all. What would you do then? Just some thoughts.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 17 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, gubernatorial candidate for the Republican Party, representing the Republican Party, Greg Zanetti, back with us. Morning, sir.
Mike, it's great to be back. Thank you for having me, especially with what's going on right now.
Yeah, obviously World War III in a lot of people's minds is starting here. We talk about the war, what's going on in Russia and Ukraine, and a lot of people, justifiably so, should be nervous right now and looking at what's going on here. All putting, it just so happens you're running for governor here and things, but for folks that don't know, your prior experience includes, being a general in the military, the Guard. You were, I might be oversimplifying this, but I always tell people at one point you were like the head dude for Guard of New Mexico, pretty much. Am I close on that? I know there's titles and semantics and all that, but pretty much you ran the show for the Guard for New Mexico. You also were running Guantanamo Bay, Gitmo, and were there when it finally they said we're done with all that, some of that stuff. You were involved with all, so you you've got experience in the big picture of the world politics and the world military and all of that stuff. So your insight on what's going on in Russia is probably a little bit more educated than the average person.
Well, I hope so. I'd like to give your listeners a broader context of what's going on here.
Yeah.
And so, Mike, I'm going to take you back 15, 18 years. Vladimir Putin gave a series of speeches across Europe, in particular in Davos, Switzerland.
Okay.
And Mike, it was something like this. Why are we kowtowing to the Americans? Look what we have on the Eurasian continent. We have technological and engineering capabilities second to none in Europe, particularly in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
We have all the resources you could want across Russia and the stands, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, all that. And we have the factory floor to the world in Asia.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, we should unite. Let's build roads, bridges, pipelines, communication systems, commodities exchanges, stock exchanges, internet, capabilities. We don't have to fight the Americans. We can ignore them. Let's build a giant land power from the Atlantic to the Pacific and to our friends in the Middle East. Join us in this great endeavor.
So being like the saviors of Europe and Asia, basically.
Basically.
Yeah.
And he said, look, Eurasia has always been the center of humanity. It has never been in the Western Hemisphere. This is an anomaly. Let's return it to its rightful place.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. Well, this was the kind of speech that just brought people to their feet. Putin. It was this kind of thing.
Sure. Which, by the way, Hitler was very popular.
Right.
Prior to becoming the Hitler we know and despise.
Right. Right. And so now what's happened over the last 15, 18 years?
Uh-huh.
They've done this. Initially, they called it the New Silk Road. Now it's called the One Belt, One Road Initiative. But they have built roads. They have built bridges and pipelines and alliances.
They've upgraded the infrastructure.
Right. And so I guess the point I want to make this morning is Ukraine is an important piece, but to a much bigger puzzle in this unification of the Eurasian continent to rival, basically the Western Hemisphere and America's dominance.
Sure.
So think what's happened here. Basically, I think we're witnessing the remaking of the world order. So Russia clearly went into Ukraine, not just for the wealth. Yes, he wants all that farmland and the coal and the rare earth elements and all that comes with it. But I think he also wanted to splinter NATO. And Mike, he's kind of done it.
Gotcha.
I mean, Germany's sort of in, but sort of not. France is sort of in, sort of not. And then the other thing he wanted to do was weaken our currency because he saw what happened in Afghanistan back in August. And when Afghanistan fell in such a horrific and disorganized way, it was game on.
Gotcha.
Because the world saw it and they said, America's weak. And if America's weak, why do we trust their currency? And did you notice when prices really started to go up here? It was about there.
Okay.
Because the world started dumping dollars.
Gotcha.
So every night, our Federal Reserve was mopping up dollars out on the international markets to try to keep some value to it.
Sure.
And I think Putin thought, if we can embarrass them in Ukraine as well, we can smash their currency.
So, I mean, is this something that it's been kind of under Putin's plan for a long time? And then the debacle that happened in Afghanistan was the linchpin that said, now's the timing to unleash what I want to do. Is that, in essence, what kind of went down, you think?
I think so.
Okay.
And so let's again put context to this. Let's go back to the fall of the Soviet Union and what happened and why he's thinking the way he's thinking. All right. You remember the last years of Jimmy Carter? It looked kind of like now, rising gas prices, rising oil prices. Well, back then, Mike, the Soviets couldn't even make a toaster that the world wanted.
Yeah.
But they had oil. And as prices hit for the day, it was a big number, $38, $39, $40 a barrel. Money was pouring into the Kremlin. Well, then Reagan got elected, and Thatcher had already been elected in England.
Okay.
And so they got together and said, if we can drive the price of oil down, we can smash the ruble. If we smash the ruble, we can knock out the Soviet Empire. Well, they were fortunate. North Sea oil was coming online for the Brits. Prudhoe Bay was coming online for the Americans.
Gotcha.
And then the key was to get the Saudis to open the spigots. And they did. And all of eastern New Mexico and West Texas will remember this. From like 1981 to 85, 86, 87, we saw the price of oil go from almost 40 down to single digits.
Wow.
Well, the Soviets couldn't even pump it at 10. And when the money dried up, there was no money to repair the tanks. The submarines rusted and the planes didn't fly. And by the late 80s, it was over.
By the time we're in there looking to see all their glasnost and all that, it wasn't all like their military was not maintained, the tires, everything was sad. Yeah.
Right. Well, there was a young KGB officer by the name of Vladimir Putin who witnessed this whole thing. And he said, they took down my currency. And when they took down the currency, they took down my nation. And now what's happening? You're seeing the same thing playing out now as he's going after the dollar because he saw what happened in Afghanistan.
So is the solution the same? We just, I know this is we as Americans, obviously our president shut down the Keystone Pipeline, right before all this stuff went down. So is the answer really drill, baby, drill? Is that fire it all back up and get back and put America off of relying on foreign oil and things like that again? Or is it bigger than that?
It's bigger than that because we also have to bring manufacturing back.
Gotcha.
Because back in the late 70s, early 80s, we were still a manufacturing nation. We hadn't shipped it all off to China. This is what President Trump was trying to do. He saw the playing field pretty clearly, and he said, all right, we need to renegotiate our trade pacts. And he did. He renegotiated NAFTA and the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Good on him. And then he was trying to bring manufacturing home. And then, of course, then he got taken out in the last election, and Biden just reversed all of it. Well, he weakened us almost immediately. And so the world's different than from back then.
Sure.
But think of what's playing out now. China has clearly sided with the Russians.
Gotcha.
I mean, and again, think of this big picture, the Eurasian superpower.
They're looking, because correct me if I'm wrong, they're kind of waiting on the sideline to see how this plays out to see what they're going to do with Taiwan.
Oh, smart guy.
Yeah.
Right. Think of what they're doing. First, they've teamed up with the Russians, but they also saw this financial and economic nuclear bomb that we dropped on the Russians. I mean, the sanctions we imposed, this was something else.
Yeah.
I mean, we attacked their central bank. We have seized assets. We have shut them off from the banking systems. We took down their stock exchange. We're taking down their currency. The world has never seen, I called it World War E, economic electronic warfare like this. Well, if you're China, you're making notes. All right, wait a minute. If they just did this to Russia, how do we prevent ourselves from being hurt like this before we go to Taiwan?
Sure.
So what are they doing? The Chinese are de-dollarizing. We've got to get out of the U.S. systems. We have to separate from these banking systems.
Sure.
Otherwise, we could be a victim.
Gotcha. So they're cutting those ties to keep us from really getting into their stuff.
Right.
When they try to pull the same shenanigans down the road here.
Exactly. Well,
Gotcha.
okay, you don't have to be, a big economist to figure this out. If your currency is being dumped, if there's less demand for your currency, while we are increasing the supply by trillions. I mean, you saw just last week, we signed a $1.5 trillion spending bill. Or if supply of dollars is soaring while demand is dropping, what happens to the value of your currency?
Gotcha.
Down she goes.
Yeah.
And what's happening to prices?
Up they go.
Right. So in some ways, Biden, I think, what are you thinking here? I mean, what have you done long-term to hurt our currency? And now look what else China's doing. I think I could make a strong case that China's been pivoting toward a wartime economy for well over a year. So we started seeing, gaps on the shelves last year, even the year before.
Sure.
Because they were moving to a wartime economy, making fewer consumer goods. Meanwhile, they're stockpiling hard metals like copper and aluminum and lead, the rare earth elements. And they're also stockpiling soft commodities. Think food. You may not know this, but 60% of all the world's stored food is now in China.
Wow.
Mike, why would you do that? Unless you were trying to insulate yourself from an embargo as you attack Taiwan. So that's the second piece of this puzzle. You've got Ukraine going on, Putin trying to splinter NATO, take the wealth, and hurt the dollar. China preparing to take Taiwan and establish themselves as the regional power absent America. All right, America, you're gone. Now add another piece, Iran.
Mm-hmm.
What's Iran done over the weekend? They fired a missile at the U.S. consulate in Iraq. Well,
Sure.
You think that was just a coincidence?
Yeah, no, this is all,
Right. Right. Now, whether it was planned or whether that was just opportunistic, but they have also shown that they can fire missiles from Iran into Israel and to hit our troops on the Arabian Peninsula. Okay, got it. And now you've got India. This was the one that just kind of blew me away. India under Trump was our buddy. We got along really well. When Biden came in, it all changed.
Did it?
So in December, just 3 months ago, India signed an arms and trade deal with the Russians. And then last week, in the middle of the sanctions, they said, look, we don't want to participate in these sanctions at all. We'll do trade with you, Russia, and we'll do it with the ruble and the rupee and not the dollar. Again, another attack on the currency.
They're lining up their partners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you start putting this puzzle together, going back to Putin's big speech back 20 years ago, let's unite, you're starting to see it come together.
Gotcha.
This is the bigger picture that, anyway, you and I here in Roswell can't control right now.
Sure.
But what should New Mexico do about it?
Sure, we've got to prepare our end game for whatever's
Right.
going to happen globally here. Yeah.
Right. And think how New Mexico could help the nation. What do we have here in this state, Mike? Not only do we have oil and gas, we have potash for fertilizer. And you've seen Russia and the fertilizer thing. We know what's going on there, cutting the exports. We have lithium. We have 4 of the 17 rare earth elements.
Which is all lithium, by the way. Everyone wants their electric cars and that's
Exactly.
going to be the commodity everyone wants. It's the lithium.
Right. And then we have the rare earth elements here for the 17. We have copper. We have uranium. And we talked about small modular nuclear reactors last time I was on. And said,
Which
hey,
would
look,
fix a lot of energy problems.
it does. And it's not competing against oil and gas. In fact, kind of the
It
opposite.
works in concert.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we have this wealth from the earth, the stuff that Putin, cherishes over in Ukraine. We've got it here in New Mexico. We could help America. Plus, we have these brilliant minds in the state. The new technologies, the quantum computing, the artificial intelligence, nanotech, micromachinery.
All that stuff going on in Los Alamos there. and
Los Alamos,
those big heads
Sandia
in their
Labs,
brain. Yeah.
New Mexico Tech. We have in New Mexico State. We have these brilliant minds here.
Sure.
And if you combine, this wealth from the human mind with the natural resources, watch what happens to your society.
Sure.
So could New Mexico go from worst to first? And could we be contributing back to the United States at a time when the U.S. really needs us?
Sure.
The answer would be yes. So this is why I'm running for governor. And I didn't expect it was going to play out like this. But, Mike, I can just see us blossoming and helping.
Sure.
Anyway.
If you've got leadership that sees the writing on the wall and are willing to, instead of react to what's going on, be 3 steps ahead of it and prepare for, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I feel like we've been, especially in the world of COVID, we've been living in a reactionary world where we're just responding to what's going on here instead of anticipating and mitigating and coming up with ways. And I think, like you're saying here is, if we plan a little and see the writing on the wall here, we can line up our industries, we can line up our resources, and we can not only be a servant for good for this country, but at the same time turn New Mexico into a very financial and
prosperous,
educational, and not just more money, but those things we're all 50th in, like education and crime and all that stuff. That those numbers start to go up because now there's there's entities investing money, time, and their resources into the state, which in essence turns into a lot of money and a lot of good growth for our community.
Right, and all with a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
And you mentioned thinking 3 steps ahead. Well, Mike, why aren't we making the speech that Putin made?
Yeah.
Except instead of looking east-west, looking north-south. All right, Canada and the United States and Mexico and Argentina have natural resources, unbelievable what we have in this Western Hemisphere. Do we have the finest technological and engineering minds in the world in this hemisphere? Yes. Do we have all kinds of food not just across the Great Plains in the U.S., but down in South America. Why don't we unite north-south?
Mm-hmm.
And in that situation, think what that does to New Mexico. In east-west trade, New Mexico's kind of landlocked. You got big old California, to our west.
Not a lot of ports in New Mexico.
No. And then Arizona is kind of a buffer. And then looking to the east, you got, gigantic Texas.
Sure.
And we're kind of squished. But in north-south trade, think how we're positioned.
Yeah.
I mean, I-25 ought to be the Autobahn.
Yeah.
Running up
Sending
and down.
stuff down to Mexico and Central America.
Sure,
and
of course.
Farther south and vice versa up north to Canada.
Right.
Yeah.
And I-40 should be the same, and I-10 should be the same. As it comes up, then it sprays out across the country. And so if you start viewing New Mexico in that light, could the governor of New Mexico start looking for trade deals in this hemisphere?
And then
yes.
The other argument I would say there, yes, talk about our resources and things like that. We can also do that and not destroy the earth. That's the other thing I want to, because I know people saying, oh, yeah, we got the lithium. Yeah, but now that's going to be mining, drilling, all the things that we don't, that they're saying we need less of in New Mexico. And I'm like, no, we can do both.
Yes, we can.
We've got plenty of stuff. I'm telling you right now, the restrictions they put on oil and gas, I'm telling you, the oil and gas are better stewards of that property than sometimes the government is, because they live in those same areas instead of someone that's 1,000 miles away telling them how to work this stuff. And that's a difference. And they don't want to tell you that. They want to tell you that these companies are evil and just want your money. And granted, they ain't in the business to lose money. They're going to make money, and they're going to do things to make money. But at the same time, they're not going to destroy the earth.
Correct.
They're going to work hand in hand with government. And generally speaking, most oil companies go above and beyond whatever government regulations are required for them. A lot of times you look at their things, and they're doing more than what the government's requiring them to do to maintain safety and security on some of this stuff. So, yes, we got these new opportunities. We can get it and mine it and drill it or get access to it without destroying our and still staying with it, keeping New Mexico the beautiful place that we love it. We can do both. We can do that.
Absolutely, because the technology is so improved.
Yes.
I mean, this is like the 1920s when nobody really knew how to do this stuff, so you just got it in the most, blunt way you could.
Yeah.
But no, you look at the oil and gas industry and how they've combined high tech and low tech to help the nation. I mean, what's more low tech than oil?
Yeah.
Not much.
But how much high tech comes out of that?
Right. Think what these guys are doing. They're drilling down, 2 miles?
Yeah.
And then going horizontally another mile.
And
it's amazing technology.
And the thing that gets me is any renewable based energy solution we have right now. And I'm not saying in the future they won't be more efficient. They will be. They'll be better and they'll be more efficient. But right now, you can't have wind or solar or any of those without petroleum-based products doing the heavy lifting. So so you can't bite the hand that's feeding you right now, and that's what New Mexico's really been doing they're biting the hand that feeds them. We need to figure that out, and obviously you get those.
Right, and you and I talked last time about how New Mexico could not only be the energy state. Let's embrace all of it, but we could also become the water state. And so, for the listeners who didn't hear this last time, New Mexico is the Saudi Arabia of brackish water. We have billions of acre feet of salty water.
Which is very functional for a lot of different uses.
It is. Plus, the technology to desalinate has just soared. And as the technology got better, the prices come down.
Gotcha.
And so here's what we would do. We would get the desal plants, pair them up with these small modular nuclear reactors. And by the way, this water's all over the state. The Tularosa Basin, it's in eastern New Mexico. It's up in Farmington. It's down in Las Cruces.
So it's plentiful
everywhere.
Statewide.
Deming has got a ton of it. Anyway, so if you desal 40, 50 million gallons of water at night, the energy you would use would be from this small modular nuclear reactor about the size of a McDonald's that will power 60,000 homes, that will not, it won't melt down.
Basically, Roswell could do with one and
be
good to
easily.
go. Yeah.
All right. So then during the day, the reactor runs your city, At night, it's the power to clean your water for the next day, and you take the excess electricity and you sell it to California at a profit.
Wow.
Can you see it?
That's like ultimate reduce, reuse, recycle.
Exactly. And now what happens? It's this brackish water isn't owed to Texas. It's not covered under the compacts.
Sure.
Now you don't have the city competing against the rural areas for the freshwater use, because you don't use desal water, out in the fields.
Right.
And you become more independent, not just in energy, but in water, which we all desperately need. And watch what happens to this state.
Sure.
Anyway.
You always hear the joke in this part of the state that whiskey's for drinking and water's for fighting. That's the joke you hear because of water rights. This kind of deals with some of that stuff. I do want to ask a question real quick, back to the Russia stuff.
Sure.
I'm kind of curious, what do you think's going to happen? Because at some point, I believe Ukraine's going to fall.
Me too.
They're not going to be able to sustain it. How long it's going to take, whether it's a month or 2 months or a week or whatever it is, that's debatable. But at some point, Ukraine's going to fall to Russia.
Right.
What do you think happens next after that? I mean, militarily, is Russia done at that point? Do you think they're going to move on to a NATO country, or are they going to go after Belarus or someplace that's still not NATO but part of the old Soviet Republic? What do you think where do you think Putin's going to go next after Ukraine falls?
I think he'll consolidate. That's what you would do initially. You'd regroup. You would, repair your vehicles, and you'd go after the Baltic states.
Gotcha.
That would be next. And he sees that we have weak and confused leadership.
Yes.
And that's our issue.
I feel like that's the big thing, is because the timing with say what you want about Trump. Love him, hate him, despise him, think he's an idiot, or think he's the best thing since sliced bread, whatever you think. I think the fact that he's not there is the reason why this. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think, like you said, the Afghanistan situation kind of was the icing on the cake that just confirmed what he probably thought all along. And since that happened, he said, "Oh, that confirms. I know exactly what's going on. Now's the time to make our play. America's weak, and we can take advantage of that." And that's and I think. If Donald Trump, love him, hate him, or whatever, was our president today, I don't think we were talking about a war in Ukraine right now. I don't think Putin would have tried to make that play right now. That's my opinion.
No, I agree totally. And he didn't. Remember, they've been talking about this plan going back 15, 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they weren't quite prepared to do it, but saw this is our chance.
Sure.
And actually, they're probably right.
Yeah.
And so, again, you're seeing the remaking of the world order right before your eyes.
Sure.
Even if this war ended today, energy flows, food flows, currency systems, banking systems are all going to be irrevocably changed.
Yeah.
And you are seeing the uniting of, believe it or not, India, China, Iran, and Russia. And if they can just tip Germany, and Germany, of course, is so dependent on Russian energy right now, if they can get Germany to look east instead of looking west, the rest of Europe will go with it, and that dream will be fulfilled. That's why Putin can't back down. This idea that suddenly he's going to get overthrown and the people are going to rise up, man, they don't understand Russian history.
Sure.
That's not how it goes over there.
But I'm just curious. So if say America started firing up the plants and the things today, I know it doesn't happen overnight. If to fire it up today, it would still be months before we start seeing the impact from that. But really, is that the best solution that America can do right now to combat whatever Putin's plan to execute and what's going on behind that? Would that create? And I'm not even sure that fixes it. That just slows it down and makes it a lot harder for him to do what he's got to do.
It does.
Yeah.
If we became more independent across the board, and we totally have the capabilities to do this, then we have actually some big advantages in this hemisphere that they don't have. I mean, it all sounds great to unite the Eurasian continent, but think how many different religions you've got that have not gotten along very well over thousands of years. There are a lot of hatreds that are so built in. There are some problems here.
Sure.
Plus, you have so many different cultures, and trying to make this mesh is going to be very, very difficult.
Sure.
Meanwhile, here in the Americas, basically we share a God.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's pretty much whether you're Protestant or Catholic or Christian, and we share, I don't know, heritage, custom. I mean, it's much easier for us to unite over here than they can.
Sure. Well, and in theory, our country is created as a melting pot. That's been the crux of this country from the beginning. Bring us your tired. Bring us your weary.
Right.
These are, people came to this country to avoid oppression of some kind, whether it's religious or sexual or color based or whatever it is. They avoided some kind of persecution to, historically, and so we may not all agree. On this country, but guess what? There's no other country on the planet better equipped to deal with cultural bias and differences than this one, I believe, because I
totally agree.
We're built to be that way. That's how that's why people come in from foreign lands and bring their culture and bring their food and bring their beliefs with them, and they can be here, and we all, sure, we may not agree, but we can, and I think that's and so I always tell people, like, you see your Black Lives Matter, you see these things going on, and you say, I was like, try that move in Kyiv right now.
Oh, no.
or any other Europe, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to find out that you got it pretty good over here after all said and done. And that's what, it's like, yeah, we got problems, but you know what? We're the beacon of example here. And
I agree.
And we need, and that's what makes this country great. And that's why, what we do in the world is impacted so much the way it is because of that stuff. And so, I really want to get that message home that we, it's not so bad here. We got it all right. You got to, because if you sit there and complain about your piddlings here, things like what's going on over there is going to finally impact your world much greater right here if you're not prepared for it. So that's just my thoughts.
No, I totally agree. And you could bring all those thoughts right back to New Mexico.
Yeah.
We've always gotten along really well here.
Yeah. I mean, we don't agree on everything, obviously, but yeah, we kind of, we make things happen, and we do. Despite the cards dealt, we're going to figure out a way to come and navigate through it. So, of course, if folks have been listening, they're like, man, this Craig Zanetti guy knows what he's talking about. Maybe I want to learn more about him.
This is nice of you. You don't have to do this.
I would love to, give out for people that can, if they want to research more, get involved in your campaign. Obviously, I know this is a busy. I imagine with primaries months away now. Instead of it seemed like it was. Like June seemed like it was forever.
Coming up fast.
And now you're like, wait a minute, it's like March, April's right around the corner.
Voting starts in May.
Yeah, early voting will be gearing up here pretty quick. Now's the time to start paying attention to this stuff and really and looking at the Republican side. You've got candidates that are really giving you some different angles and different opinions on things here. So please reach out and research what you got to say.
Yeah, it's Zanetti, Z as in zebra, ANETTI for governor.com. And what you'll learn about me, I'm from here. I went to Valley High School in Albuquerque. Then I went to West Point. And then I had the military career, but I've also managed lots of money for really wealthy people.
Sure.
And so
you've got the military and the finance background.
And it all goes together.
And you're talking, exactly. That's the point I'm making there. It's all goes hand in hand on some of this stuff.
Right. And so if you see both sides, if you see the economic war that's playing out, the financial war, and of course, the kinetic war on the ground right now, you start thinking, okay, I can't control this. Mike, you can't control it.
Yeah.
But we can pivot in New Mexico with the right leadership to benefit from it, not just here in New Mexico, but to help the country.
Sure.
That's the opportunity that's before us right now.
I think also a lot of people, not people that have been, some people that pay attention and read, they didn't, but I think a lot of Americans honestly thought we'd never see a World War II type scenario again. Like you think technology or the science or we've evolved, whatever your logic or reasoning was. And I think what we're seeing right now in the world is like, oh, you think you're never going to see that again? Just wait. It's a month away. You know what I mean? It's a couple moves away every time from doing what we're seeing right now in this world.
If I were Israel, I'd have my head on a swivel right now based on what's going on. And then with the other thing, we've got to be careful of the hawkish, let's go get them, the Russians have hypersonic missiles.
Mm-hmm.
These, we don't maybe we have them, but we haven't demonstrated them yet. These are missiles that actually go into space, which gives them limitless range. Once you're in orbit, you can go anywhere. They come back through the atmosphere at 15 times the speed of sound.
Wow.
I can't tell you how fast that is.
That's very.
And here's the key part. They're guidable. You know, ballistic missiles go up and down like a softball. So you at least have a shot to intercept it. With a hypersonic, you won't know if it's going to hit Memphis or Detroit until 3 seconds out.
Oh, wow.
Right. This is what people don't get. And prior to this invasion, Putin brought some of his submarines up to hover depth, and he launched them. And he's basically was saying, look, I'm going to be in this place this time. Watch this. We're not fooling around. He did the same thing with mobile land-based launchers. He gave the coordinates to us, and he said, watch this. And he fired his hypersonics in test mode, basically saying, leave us alone. We're not messing around. We don't want to do this.
Gotcha.
And so, again, I'm not saying we surrender to Putin, but let's be aware of where Biden has put us now.
Sure.
And it's hard to overstate how foolish Biden has been and why we're in this situation now. Because you're right. If it had been Trump, we wouldn't be here now.
Yeah. But, yeah, you can't. There's got to be some finesse on this. You can't just go in there and say, America, and start blowing stuff up. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
I know it's fun to say and feel that way. When you get in there and light up to work, get some A-10s, we'll be just fine. I get that, but no, it don't work that way. You know, it's like I've heard more people, and I've said it myself. You know, they keep showing that 40-mile convoy, and of course, people ever spend any time in the military, a couple A-10s, that's gone, that's bye-bye. And you're right, but that's it's different.
Like, you know what I wonder about with that? What happened? Do we have some weapons? A 40-mile convoy that just went, one part of the convoy just went down.
I would not be surprised.
Right.
Just from my time in the military, I've seen things that the public doesn't necessarily know that we do.
Right. What did we do to them?
Yeah.
Guessing. And then, of course, you and I have talked about, some of this stuff that Lockheed Martin and the U.S. Navy have patented for vehicle, basically they're aircraft that seemingly defy the laws of physics.
Yeah.
And so, I wonder if some of the UFOs, we're in UFO land, that we see right now are us. Have we figured something out?
Sure. Well, it's kind of like, and I think it's safe for me to say this now, some 20 years removed, but on the radio, and I've talked a little bit about it. But when I worked, I was a weapons troop on the 117s, the Stealth at Holloman. And so I was in when we were dealing with Milosevic in Kosovo and all of that, 99, 2000, that time frame. And I will tell you, we mostly loaded and dropped laser guided bombs on bunkers, various targets, and things like that. But towards the end, we were dropping these cluster bombs that basically took out power. They used some kind of microwave technology, and they literally did the whole, what you see here doesn't. They brought us to a hangar and showed us top secret photos of what you see here doesn't exist, and made us sign disclosure statements and the whole nine about these things.
Right.
And of course, even the crew chiefs didn't know. The only people that knew what was in these bombs were the weapons guys and the pilots.
Right.
And so they did their mission, and everyone's asking. But then, of course, later that day, it was all over the Stars and Stripes magazine talking about this new cluster bomb that took out. But basically, it just zapped power, and it had 120 of these bomblets in there, and if two of them can talk, it would zap power within an X amount of area. And so the folks from Yugoslavia are in there. Power plant gets zapped out. They go and fix it back up, and then bring it back online. And they collect all these bomblets. It's frying again, so it took out all the power in Belgrade. But what I mean is, we have that kind of stuff that the world doesn't have, about all the time when we just use it and then they say, hey, here it is.
But so bring it back to New Mexico. What if you had a governor who went to Lockheed Martin and to the Pentagon, and a governor who spoke military, General Zanetti, and spoke finance, financial advisors, and said, look, we've seen these patents. What's it going to take for you to research it, test it, and build it here? We have a lot of empty sky.
We do.
And we have a spaceport that is being used for next to nothing.
We got a lot of bombing ranges and a lot of open space here. Yeah.
And so what's it going to take? We want to be the center of gravity for the new technologies that we think you guys have figured out. shouldn't you have a governor who starts thinking like that?
Absolutely.
Instead of just thinking that our economic development plan should be casinos, weed, and personal injury attorneys. Yeah. I mean, this is the way we've got to be thinking in this state. And again, it's why I'm running for governor.
We should be on the technology bubble cusp right there. And, when they talk about Silicon Valley and all those terms you hear in the 90s, it should be right here in New Mexico. You're right. That's where it should be.
And it can be.
Yeah. And again, like you said, it can be. Go to Greg Zanetti's website.
Yeah,
learn
ZanettiForGovernor.com.
Yeah, and learn more about, what we can do here and get involved with this stuff. And let's see. And I'm sure even if you don't agree with everything Greg's here, reach out to him. He'll be happy to talk to you about this stuff and get going. Are you going to be in town doing anything today or tomorrow?
Well, I go from here to Loco Hills, believe it or not. Then I'm heading over to Hobbs for an event tonight. But then I'll be back in Roswell tomorrow.
Okay.
So, and we're having an event tomorrow night. I should have brought the address, but it's a candidate forum.
Okay.
And the Republican Party is sponsoring it here, and would love to have any of your listeners come
Is that
out.
going to be over at the convention center? I think that's what I'll confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that's where it's going to be taking place over there. So
come on out.
Yeah, they're doing the gubernatorial, and then the next night I think is the lieutenant governor candidate forum that they're going to be doing. So Tuesday night is the governor's, Wednesday night, and I think it's all over at the convention center by the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, I believe.
That's right.
I think that's
right. Federal are sponsoring it, not the party. But,
so that's it's tomorrow night and then Wednesday night, all at the Convention and Civic Center. There.
Nice.
So very good. So you can meet Greg and get there early. Get a chance to meet Greg and the various candidates, and you get to ask some questions and talk to them that they may not address or deal at the forums there.
No, I love this part of the state, Mike.
Good deal.
I mean, you hardworking, producing, and you're right. To be treated as badly as this part of the state has been by our governor is disgusting.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we thank you for visiting. Thank you for spending time. Thanks for talking Russia with us for a little bit.
It's fun. You make it easy.
I think you gave some people some real understandings on what's actually going on there that might dispel those things they read on Facebook from time to time.
Spread the word, Zanetti for governor.
There you go. Thank you, sir. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Mike.
We'll see you next time.
God bless you, man.
All right, it is 9:56.
Have you ever had someone do something kind and out of the ordinary for you? How did that make you feel? I know for me, it brightens my day. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not get tired of doing what's right, for after a while we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't get discouraged and give up." I've learned when you don't know what to do, just do the next right thing. Keep sowing good things into your spouse and your family. Be patient. God promises He will give you a harvest. It will make a difference. A successful farmer just keeps on working and expects to have a great harvest.
I know when my husband brings me flowers, it blesses me. So do something unexpected for your spouse. It will pay off.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
A good night's sleep is so important. Did you know that proper sleep supports a healthy heart, decreases chances of weight gain, and boosts a positive mood? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. It doesn't matter your age, sleeping issues can make any of us reach for that all-day cup of coffee. If you know you are not sleeping because of severe snoring or sleep apnea, come visit us. We can make you a small oral appliance that will help you sleep better and live better.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 622-4455. Time to put your money where your mouth is. The March Mania Slam Dunk Savings Event is on at Roswell Honda. Saturday, March 19th from 10 to 1, the hoop will be set up at Roswell Honda. Shoot for up to $1,000 discount. Enjoy free food and drinks, fun for the whole family, and register to win a 54-inch Spalding portable basketball hoop. 1 entry for stopping by, 3 entries with a test driver service, and 5 entries with a purchase. Drawing March 19th at 1, must be present to win. Score big during the Slam Dunk Savings Event at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county, or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:59. Town Hall News coming up here in less than a minute. Stay tuned next hour here about 9:15 or so. We're going to have Crystal Noble join us from the Roswell Humane Society, get an update on pets available for adoption right now at the Humane Society. Also talk about any sales or specials going on at the thrift store. And, of course, invite you to come out and be a member of the Humane Society. It's your pets, your kids, your dogs, your cats, your neighbors, everybody and anything can be a member of the Roswell Humane Society. So we'll talk with Crystal next hour. Town Hall News coming up next. And, of course, we'll be back on the other side of Town Hall News. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. We'll be back.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour at townhall.com. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Fewer Americans applied for unemployment benefits last week as layoffs continue to fall amid a strong job market rebound.
Jobless claims fell by 15,000 to 214,000 for the week ending March 12th, down from the previous week's 229,000, according to the Labor Department. First-time applications for jobless aid generally tracks the pace of layoffs. The 4-week average for claims, which compensates for weekly volatility, fell to 223,000 from the previous week's 231,750. In total, 1,419,000 Americans, a 50-year low, were collecting jobless aid the week that ended March 5th, down 71,000 from the week before that. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Ukrainian authorities are working to rescue several hundred people who had been sheltering in a theater torn apart by a Russian airstrike in the besieged city of Mariupol. Some hope emerged, though, as one official said some people have managed to emerge from the theater. The fate of many others remains unknown. Washington has expelled another state-owned Chinese phone carrier from the U.S. market over national security concerns amid rising tensions with Beijing. The Federal Communications Commission revoked authorization for Pacific Networks Corporation to provide domestic and international service. It's been slow going on Wall Street. Meanwhile, they're still feeling the impact of the Fed's decision to hike interest rates.
The Fed is raising its benchmark federal funds rate a quarter point. It's been pinned near zero since the coronavirus pandemic struck 2 years ago, triggering a recession. The rate hike marks the start of the Fed's effort to curb the high inflation that's followed the recovery from that recession. In a statement, the Fed signals up to 7 rate hikes are possible this year, and increases could be a half point at future meetings.
As correspondent Ben Thomas on Wall Street right now, the Dow is off by 53 points, the Nasdaq down by 59. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Moose is the German Shepherd, now 11, and he's been an amazing dog. Moose is so active and so alert and hasn't had any kind of health problems at all. He has a beautiful coat, and at 11, he'll still run and chase the ball. He has been on Dynavite since he's a puppy.
Dynavite for life.
Because if they're getting all their vitamins, micronutrients, microbials from the beginning, then you're not going to run into the problems associated with the grass, pollen, dust, dirt, fleas, ticks, you name it, and the itching and shedding down the road. DINOVITE.com. We tell anybody that has a dog, if there was something that you could do right from the beginning so that you don't have expensive veterinary bills. Why would you not do it? Get the Dynovite.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dynovite from DINOVITE.com.
Medical officials are taking a closer look now at more fallout from the pandemic. Researchers exploring a potential link between COVID-19 and diabetes. More from correspondent Jennifer King.
It's already clear that a coronavirus infection can lead to severe complications for people with diabetes. Now scientists are asking if a rise in cases during the pandemic is more than just a coincidence. A CDC report examining the databases for 2 large insurance companies from March of 2020 through June of 2021 found diabetes was substantially more common in children who'd had COVID-19. At Rady Children's Hospital in San Diego, type 1 diabetes cases jumped almost 60% during the first year of the pandemic. Diabetes specialist Dr. Ines Thomas says Mott's Children's Hospital in Michigan has seen a 30% increase. The timing raises concerns, and Thomas says hope that a link may be discovered to figure out the trigger. I'm Jennifer King.
Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Residents whose homes were built on a Louisiana landfill have won a $75 million judgment. Here's correspondent Mike Grazia.
5,000 residents of a New Orleans community built on a toxic landfill decades ago have won a $75.3 million court judgment against the city, the New Orleans Housing Authority, and the local school board. The ruling by State District Judge Nicole Shepard on Monday says the residents are entitled to the total amount for emotional distress and property damage, according to the Times-Picayune, the New Orleans Advocate. 2 residential communities, Gordon Plaza and Press Park and Moulton Elementary School, were built atop the former Agriculture Street landfill. Homes were built in the 1970s and 1980s and marketed to black, low, and middle-income residents who were not told the site was a one-time landfill.
And that report from correspondent Mike Grazia. On Wall Street right now, the Dow is down about 58 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres inviernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Thank you, Roy. Sean, I'm guessing he'll be back. He's a little under the weather today. He'll be back probably tomorrow to be deucing and tracing it up. So
Ooh, that wind feels nice.
Yeah, it was getting a little stuffy in here, so I cracked that window open, and it's getting a little more nice. But yeah,
it's blowing right in my face.
Well,
it's fine.
Well, if our guest doesn't like that, we'll shut it. But it was kind of nice getting a little air in here. It was getting a little stuffy, so I haven't had to use it as much this spring. Usually around this time, that thing's constantly open because it's hot in here. But this is the first time I had to open it in a while, so I don't know if that means that it's been colder in here, or I know the heat was broke for a little bit in the building. That may have had some reason. I didn't mind at all. It was comfortable in here when the heat was broke.
I think the air conditioner works though in the summer, but
it does. They have a ginormous swamp cooler on the roof.
Oh,
and it's a big one. Like I went up there and saw it like last summer. And I was not just to go. We was like, let's all go to the roof and see a swamp cooler. No, we had to go up there for other stuff. And I happened to notice the It's a big one. It's the biggest, the mother of the Moab swamp coolers up there. So it works pretty good for the summer. So, but yeah, but they have it. It's heat in the winter, and it's not either or. You get one or the other. And in the winter itself, right now, if I crank it up, turn on the air, it would be heat. So I don't want that. So you get the window. We didn't have the window before. I mean, we had a window, but it didn't open.
Right.
And they put that in about 2 years ago, maybe. It was just before COVID, whenever that was. It's 3 years ago. I don't even know. Time has, I don't know. Anything past 2020, I have no idea of concept of anymore from COVID. But it predated COVID just barely. But, yeah, we got that window. And because before it just get hot in here and you have to sit and swelter. Now at least you can open the window and get a little air circulating in here. So it's not so
especially during the spring.
Right now, for instance, just fine and dandy. So
I was sorry. Can I talk?
Yeah.
Oh,
you are.
So I was looking at like public domain stuff actually.
Okay.
Did you know that Winnie the Pooh is in the public domain now?
Oh, really?
Yeah. But this year. But not the Disney version.
The original.
So you have to use like the book version.
Okay.
He can't wear like a little red shirt or whatever.
So he's more like the book version's a little more slender, isn't he?
I
don't think he's as doughy.
It's kind of furrier, I guess.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
He looks less cartoonish.
Yeah.
In the book version.
Yeah, he's just an actual like stuffed bear.
Yeah.
Or something.
Where the Disney. Now, does the book have Tigger and Eeyore and all that? I don't even remember. No.
Yeah, I think it has everybody. Like Rabbit is an actual rabbit.
Yeah.
But Tigger like came after, so he's not actually public domain quite yet.
Gotcha. Okay. So all you Tigger fans got to wait.
Mickey Mouse is actually about to hit it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
I figured Disney would have that locked up.
Like 2024, I think is January 1st. That's the public domain day.
Huh. Wonder how that works. Can they re-lock it down? I don't know how.
Well, they already did that in the 90s.
Yeah.
But
so what does public domain with Mickey Mouse get you?
You can use him and like you can write your own stories with him.
Oh.
You just can't. They have a trademark on it.
Your own Mickey Mouse fan fiction?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can't put his name on the cover, but you can use him as a character now.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll get to work on those essays right now. So
Superman and Batman are also going to be there pretty soon too.
Nice. Well, 2024 is going to be a good year for me. I'm going to be doing a lot of writing. Look for Superman and Mickey Mouse and Tigger stories coming soon. 2024.
There's a lot of characters that you technically own now.
Huh.
Like Dracula, Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
Zorro. Huckleberry Finn. Paul Bunyan. Samson. Stuff like that.
Sorry, I've seen Half Baked one too many times. Samson! Simpson!
I just thought that'd be some neat information.
I bet that's our guest. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. Sorry, I still got Simpson. Let's tell my story. Anyway, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few minutes. Later on, we will get you up to date. After the commercial break, we're going to have Crystal Noble join us from the Roswell Humane Society, and she'll give us an update on what's happening there, pets available for adoption, all that good stuff. Later on in the hour, we'll get the news of the local variety up there for you, along with the Sean Hannity update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Hey, get your dancing shoes on for a big fun dance this Saturday. Get ready to dance to the music of Cibolo Springs, happening at Westminster Presbyterian Church, which is located at 2801 West 4th Street. They're in their fellowship hall this Saturday night, March 19th from 6 to 9 p.m. Also dance to Cindy Richardson's 50s and 60s rock and roll. Or maybe you're into country western. Marvin Roberts will be there doing some country western as well. Admission is just $5 per person. Light refreshments will be served, so bring a date and your dancing shoes and come on out to Westminster Presbyterian Church this Saturday night from 6 to 9 p.m. Admission only $5. If you have any questions, want some more information, reach out to Tom Blake at 575-6 622-2801. Again, that's 622-2801. Or Bob Power at 575-910-4648. All right, it is 13 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty wind today as low pressure and a cold front cross our area. Our high stays around 60, and we do have a slight chance of a shower or two around the Roswell area. Fair elsewhere. Partly cloudy overnight and upper 20s and breezy, and then we get sunshine back on Friday, but still cool. We'll be in the low 60s, back into the 70s and fair for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 57 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 39%. Winds are a-blowing, in case you haven't noticed. Out of the northwest, 16 gusting to 25 miles per hour. They're saying there's a chance. We are looking at a 30% chance at some rain showers this afternoon, mainly after 3 p.m. Winds will be up as well today. Sunny and 62 also. I guess that's, a good news thing. Winds are going to be out of the northwest, 25 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour today. We're looking at a 20% chance of rain tonight before 9 p.m. So if we're going to get rain, it's between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. tonight. That's the sweet spot. Mostly clear otherwise with an overnight low of 30. They use the term blustery tonight with north winds 15 to 25 miles per hour. They will drop down 5 to 15 after midnight tonight. Friday, we're looking at sunny skies and 61 for a high once again. Winds not as windy out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then warmer for the weekend. Saturday, we're looking at sunny skies, 73 for a high, west winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, mostly sunny and breezy with a high of 81. And then they're saying there's a chance once again with rain Sunday night and Monday. Monday, really. They're saying a 20% chance of rain Sunday night. But Monday, we're looking at a 50% chance of rain. And then Monday night, a 50% chance of rain as well. Highs mid-60s on Monday. A 30% chance of rain on Tuesday. Highs near 60. They say 59 officially. So might get some moisture next week. We'll see. Of course, it's by Saturday they could blow all that off and say, never mind, it's gone. But we'll see. All right, it is 9:15. We're going to take a 3-minute break. And then Crystal Noble will join us from the Roswell Humane Society. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Have you been dealing with stress or anxiety lately? Don't let that stop you from getting the dental work done that you know needs to happen. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental, and every day we help people just like you have a relaxing and pain-free experience with IV sedation. Just imagine a dental experience where you don't remember the needles or the drills. If that's what you're looking for, we can help. Let us ease your stress and create the best dental experience ever.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main or call 622-4455.
We teach our kids to say please and thank you to total strangers, but we get so familiar in our marriages and families, we stop being polite to each other. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and my wife, Miss Julie Smotherman, for The Joy of Marriage.
In the love chapter of 1 Corinthians 13, it says that love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. We emphasize being polite to each other in our family, which promotes an attitude of respect and brings peace in our home. Remember your manners with the person you love the most. Appreciate the things they do for you and let them know.
Being polite to each other can help you avoid conflict. Let's be polite to strangers, but let's not give our best to the people we don't live with. Let's give our best to each other.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 4 North Main, Roswell.
Attention high school students, would you like more information on the most affordable 4-year university in New Mexico? Then RSVP today to our Eastern New Mexico University Open House Preview Day, Saturday, March 26th. At ENMU Open House, you will have a chance to win great prizes, such as an iPad and a $500 scholarship. Get more information about admissions and scholarships. Meet with ENMU faculty. Find out more about potential majors and get a specialized campus tour from ENMU students. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Explore, experience, excel. Eastern New Mexico University.
Get smoking hot deals during the sizzling savings event at Roswell Nissan. Like a 2015 Ford F-150 for just $307 a month, or a 2010 Honda Odyssey for just $149 a month. And join Roswell Nissan March 26th from 10 to 1 for free food, stuff for the kiddos, and your chance to win a Masterbuilt 30-inch electric smoker. 1 entry for stopping by, 3 entries with a test drive or service, and 5 entries with a purchase. Drawing March 26th at 1. Must be present to win. Get a Home Depot gift card with a test drive and a portable grill and a chance at the cash grab just for stopping by. On now at Roswell Nissan. 2111 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Humane Society, we have Crystal Noble back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
A little wind blown, but I'm okay.
Yeah, wind blew you in this morning.
Yeah, just a little bit. You know, it's like, hurry, get in there.
That's right. Hey, wind energy. Let's get on there and put sails in your cars today. Save your $4.20 a gallon.
Oh,
whatever,
yeah.
Whatever it's up to right now.
Pop it in neutral and hope that you can remember how to drive without power steering.
That's right. Put a bed sheet on with a stick and the broom.
Oh, man. I'm going to go get a pirate's flag.
Old Jolly Roger hanging up there. It'd be good. Well, I'm kidding, of course. Don't do that. Drive your car normally. But of course, Humane Society, for folks that don't know, they rescue animals. That's what they do. They are really overworked in this society because we do have a pet overpopulation issue in Roswell. We've had it for years, and so we always want to get Crystal on just to encourage folks to adopt, to come in and adopt pets and rescue. Rescue's the way to go because these are all animals looking for love and homes. I ain't gonna lie, or I'm not gonna lie. In my opinion, these animals are smarter than like your purebred. You know what I mean?
They're more appreciative.
Yeah, they're more in tune with their owners. I think sometimes just because they're. It's a bond, it's a friendship. And I'm not saying you can't do that with a dog, but it just seems more instantaneous when you adopt a pet from the Humane Society. It's just
they look at you as their savior, like a rescuer.
Yeah,
because,
they know
they're not in the best situation, but they're not in a bad situation.
Sure.
They're just like,
Well, they don't know they're in a no-kill shelter. They just know they're in a cage, and they're like, hey, I don't want to be in the cage. I want to be running around and playing and living my life,
I want to be sniffing that part of the yard.
That's right. I want to mark my territory.
Yeah.
It's all mine.
Yep. We have plenty. Never a shortage. Plenty cats, plenty dogs.
Okay.
We have the American Bulldog pups that are officially now up for adoption. There's 5 of them. Sorry. 5 females.
Okay.
They're all white with black spots.
Okay.
So one has a black spot on this side, one has a black spot on this side, one's got a black nose, some have black freckles. So they each have their own different unique marking.
Okay.
But they're all females.
Oh, nice.
And they're right about 3.5, 4 months old now.
Okay, so they're ready for homes.
Mm-hmm.
I would have guessed, just because I know that breed of dog is very popular about 30 miles south of us. A lot of people like to have bulldogs in Artesia. And
Well, they're American Bulldogs, so they're the bigger ones. They're not the little short English Bulldogs. So
all right.
They're
Bulldogs
the bigger ones.
Yeah, they're the Bulldogs. They didn't say English Bulldogs. They just said they're Bulldogs.
Artesia Bulldogs. Come on now.
My Bulldogs talk with American accent. That's how they bark. Hey, remember the Tea Party? A little tea party and a revolution all about that. My dog don't speak no English accent.
My dog's bigger than your dog.
Very cool. But Bulldog fans, there's some ladies that are looking for homes right now. Hopefully, maybe someone could take
sweet.
a pair or two. Maybe they can go together as siblings or something. Or some of them.
They're happy to see anything and everything. You know, they don't know a stranger one.
Gotcha. They just are loving dogs.
Yes.
Now, I want to remind folks that any breed of dog that has that pushed up nose kind of thing, they do require more medical attention than some other breeds of dogs.
The good thing about these guys, because they are mixed, they don't have such a short nose.
Okay. What about slobbering and stuff? They probably still gonna slobber.
They haven't started the slobbers yet.
But they're coming.
They will come. They will, but not yet. Their jowls haven't grown to slobber stage yet.
Gotcha, but maybe it's not the right food. Maybe you hit them with the right food, and that'll really get the juices flowing.
I don't know. Some yin yang, he sees anything in your hand, and it's just like,
it's like water breaking.
It's like somebody just broke a water pipe.
Yeah.
And he especially likes milk bones.
Okay. That's his jam.
That's his jam is milk bones.
Okay. And what kind of dog is this one?
Yin Yang is the pit mix.
The pit mix. That's right. So, again, another good dog. And Yin Yang's been there a long time.
Yin Yang has been there officially 14 months.
Over a year. That's way too long for a dog.
It is.
This one needs a good home, and I'm guessing because it's a pit mix, that's probably turned some people off a little bit.
It's because he can get out of a lot of different...
A little bit of escape artist?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm pretty sure if he had somebody that would spend the time and take him to training and exercise his energy level down, he might not try to get out, but...
I think that's the case with dogs like that. It's a lot of energy, and they need just a routine. They need structure. And I think once you establish all that with that dog, like you said, it probably won't try to escape.
Because all he wants is to be loved.
Yeah.
All he wants is people and milk bones.
And then the reason he probably escapes is because he's looking for action, looking for fun, looking for someone to hang out with.
He's like, I'm bored over here.
An extrovert.
He just loves people, and he loves kids, he loves people, he loves dogs. He just loves.
Just a social being. Okay.
Yeah, he is.
So, but like I said, you're gonna have to, put in the work and be a family for this dog because it needs a family.
He needs an active family who likes to go and run and play and hike and stuff like that. He'd be the one pulling you up the hill when you've given out.
Gotcha. So if you're always watch Lassie and those kind of shows, you're like, man, I wish I had a cool dog who do all that stuff. This one might,
He'd probably be the one.
Fit the bill there a little bit for you.
Just, keep throwing a milk bone a little bit farther ahead.
Well, dogs are very smart. I don't care what the breeds are. They're all very smart. And
some of them are too smart for their own good.
You're absolutely right. And
and we have a few of those that have to have locks on the gate because they know how to bump it with their nose.
They can manipulate levers and switches and what have you to escape if need be.
Yep.
Do you have any that work in pairs? You never watch those videos online sometimes where there's a dog and a cat or two dogs and they work together to get the gate open? You ever see those moves?
So how ours are set up is where, the gates are right in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So it's directly in the middle of that dog's kennel.
Okay.
So this dog can't get this dog's gate and this one can't get this one's gate. But when you have two dogs that, have a bed up against side by side, one will use to climb up and then one will climb up. And then we come in the morning and we've got two dogs in one cage. And we're like, hi. It's a good thing you were two boys.
Right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to need more cages.
Uh-huh. Yeah. We're not there to breed them. We're just there to feed them.
Oh, man. But if you are looking for a pet, lots of dogs here. How on the feline side here?
Plenty.
Good. Lots of cats.
Plenty.
Okay.
We do have the two, and I'm going to say middle-aged. They're just about 10 now.
Okay.
Mimi and Precious. They were sisters. Their human owner was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and had to go to a treatment facility in Houston and could not take them.
Gotcha.
So
they had to give the cat up.
She had to. Well, there's two.
Okay.
Cats. They are from the same household. They're not from the same litter, but they were the same age when she got them. So they've been raised together.
Most of their lives, they've been together. So ideally, you'd like to adopt them together. So
they do better together.
Okay.
They do okay separate, but they do so much better together because one is more outgoing than the other. Mimi is like your social bug. She's like, "Hi, you're gonna pet me," and Precious is like, "I don't know."
Gotcha.
But when you show Precious a brush, she pushes Mimi out of the way, and she's like, hi.
So ideally, that'd be good. But it sounds like, if you're looking for maybe an older person to have some companionship, these two might be good candidates
And the
for
fun
that.
thing about these two cats is they both have complete opposite personalities. And when you put them together, it's like they're long-lost sisters, and they run, and they rub each other. They look at each other, and then they're like, and then they walk off. And then they go do their own thing, and then they come back, and then they rub on each other, and then they get mad, and then walk off.
That's siblings.
It is.
That's
It is
like
very much siblings. But when we first had to separate them, Mimi was okay. Precious was not. Precious was so scared and terrified, and
you took away the one thing she's familiar with at that moment.
Yep.
She just did not handle it.
and that's how we learned that she was, a lover of the brushing. She likes her chin brush. She likes her ears brushed. She'll roll over and let you brush her belly. And most cats don't like their belly touched.
I know. I have one that kind of lets me. Kind of. She did me last night. She did. Really? Last night, like our cat. My wife's here, so she can kind of attest to some of this. So last night, our cat. We have one cat that has been crawling under the covers lately and sleeping in between us. That's kind of been her move, like, for the last couple weeks now.
Oh.
And so last night she did it. And we let her in and all that. And next thing you know, I was kind of absentmindedly asleep. I slid over, and I felt fur. So I just started petting it. I was petting. Then I realized about a minute or two, and that was her belly. And she just let me. And next thing you know, I got 10 minutes of hand licking. So I just let it stay there. And I think I fell asleep that way.
Sandpaper.
But yeah. She just, she was, and she let me do it. She was very, she didn't bite me or attack me, or I heard purring, and she seemed to enjoy it. So
She's like, I'm under the covers. I can't tell what it is.
yeah, I was like, I don't know. There's a ball of fur under there. I started touching it. What's that?
She gets under there to stay warm.
Yeah.
Just a nice, comfortable,
She likes
warm.
her little spot there. Yeah.
Under the covers.
They get ebb and flow. Sometimes, they hang out on top. Sometimes they sleep by themselves. Just whatever their floats their boat that particular night.
Every animal has their own personality and their own thing. And I'll tell you right now, no two animals are the same.
No, you're right.
It's true.
They can be from the exact same litter, exact same mom, and they're not going to be the same.
Just like people. Everybody's different. Everyone has likes and dislikes that are same or different. And animals, pets, cats, dogs, they're no different. They all, that's why you watch those videos of, cats doing weird things or dogs doing weird things, and some do them, some don't, It's like I was watching the one the other day, and it was, and they had a lot of the gopher cats, and I was like, oh, shoot, our cat does that every day. That's not, that's not nothing weird, but she spends when she's not sleeping or wandering around annoying things, she's usually up in that gopher mode looking around like, hey, what's going on?
We have two cats at the kennel that will sit back like in the gopher stance, but they put their paws up on the gate. And so when somebody walks by, they're just hanging like a monkey. But it looks like they're hanging, but they're actually sitting on their butt. And then so when they walk by, they're like, hey.
They
come
do
here.
a little, hey.
Hey.
They need a little cup in their hand just to slide it back across the
Every time I see him, I go out there and I sing to him, let my people go. And everybody looks at me and I'm like, what?
That's pretty good. Anything going on over the thrift store we want to tell folks about?
There is St. Patrick's Day today.
Yes.
They are doing a big sale.
Okay.
The entire back room is half off.
Nice.
And all kids' clothing, including the hanging clothing, is 25 cents per item.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you can get pants, shirts, whatever. Anything kids related is 25 cents per item.
Oh, wow. So you can get a whole kid's wardrobe for like $3 or $5,
And then they're doing a brown bag book sale. You can either fill it up with cookbooks or children's books.
Okay.
Or a mixture of the
Or
two.
Combo thereof.
For $5.
Oh, wow.
And we have the brown bags there. So you just brown bag it up, fill it all the way up, $5.
Nice. And of course, if you went to the grocery store today and tried to buy beef, and like, holy cow, maybe I should get a cookbook and find other things to cook that are cheaper.
There's, I think there's like 10 ramen noodle cookbooks down there. All the things you can do with ramen noodles.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be very collectible right now. People could use that when and get it because of price of everything. But I love that. And for you young folks, that's how we used to get recipes before Pinterest and the internet. We all owned cookbooks, and we had a stack of them, usually somewhere in the house.
Or you had your grandmother's old Rolodex book that you would flip through and pull out an index card with recipes on it.
With handwritten, it looks like it's about 30 years old. And odds are pretty good there's some kind of food stain on the card somewhere. Seem to be a lot of tomato stains on the ones I noticed, but it could vary.
But yeah, so there are a lot of stuff in the back room. There's furniture. I know there's a Samsung Curve TV back there that she has. Some really cool like bathroom. I don't want to say vanity, but like the medicine cabinet, but without the medicine part.
I gotcha.
So like it hangs on the wall.
It's like a bathroom storage unit.
And then you open it and it's got like shelvings for like perfumes and stuff like that.
So if you want to put it up on the wall there behind the toilet or something to store whatever,
Yeah. A storage shelf
Yeah.
for the bathroom, I guess is what it would be called.
For your wife to put all those hair care products in or the skin facial products in.
That's me. That's me.
So they aren't just spread out over the sink.
No, I have my own little corner cubby and then a bottom cubby. I take up this corner and that.
That's your designated zone.
That's my designated zone. My husband's is like that.
Yeah, we get that one little sliver. Here you go. Here's your spot.
There's your deodorant and your toothpaste and a brush.
You get that drawer that's this big.
Okay, I'm not that bad, but he doesn't really have much. His shavers and stuff like that is what takes up the majority of the room.
Gotcha. Yeah, you need a lot of different shavers. Just to I don't know why. I'm the same way. I think I have 2 or 3.
And he laughs at me because I'm like, "Where's the men's razors?" And he's like, "You have your own." I said, "Oh, they'll shave better than ours."
Yeah. Well, but anyway, come by 25 cents.
Yes,
for the
all
clothing,
kids' clothing, hanging or baskets, 25 cents.
Nice. And by the way, this is on top of the already deeply discount prices that are there all the time anyway on this stuff. I mean, if you're looking, I don't understand why new couples go to stores to buy things new when you could easily come to these thrift stores, support these great causes, whether it's the Humane Society or if you go over to the Refuge or wherever the different areas that run thrift stores here, visit all of them and do some shopping because more than likely you can get, even if you're not into clothing and stuff, but like small appliances or furniture or decor or dishes or things, towels and bedding, things like that. Yeah, stuff that we all need in our house, but you go buy it brand new, it gets expensive at once. And so if you're just starting out or a new couple and stuff, I don't know why you're not hitting all the thrift stores and just saying, hey, how much of this can we get for, a third or a fifth of the cost of what it was brand new?
They get brand new sheets donated all the time, brand new blankets, comforter sets that are still in the, little zip container that they come in. They get those all the time.
Yeah.
They get camping stuff, a ton of cookware, bakeware, Instapots, Keurigs.
So it's an upgrade for some, or for people just starting out, need to get all this stuff for the first time because they're now out on their own. This is, you take advantage of this because, and here's the great part. Every penny you spend in the Humane Society thrift store goes to help the pets at the Humane Society, whether it's paying for vet bills or food and cleaning supplies or any of that stuff. And also when you donate too. So if you go, say you buy a new bed or something, but you got a perfectly good bed frame and everything, donate. Reach out, call and say, hey, I got a new bed. I got this other one's perfectly good. Would you like it? And we can make arrangements and all that stuff. Same with anything else, clothing and books and small appliances, knickknacks, decor, collectibles, all that stuff. Holiday decor, your Christmas and Halloween. And
they get a ton of Christmas decorations. And I know they actually have a storage area that is filled with nothing but Christmas decorations.
Nice. See, I don't know
that are used once, boxed up, and donated.
Yeah. So if you're one that loves to go all out decorating, why are you not? Because I know you're dropping coin. I've seen those light displays, and I'm pretty sure some of those people have to take out a second mortgage to get just to get all that stuff and pay
and
the
to pay the light bill during that time.
So why are you not hitting, thrift stores and getting, because that string of lights that you probably paid, top dollar for at the store, you probably got the exact same thing for a third of the cost or a tenth of the cost at the thrift store there. So look first.
Very reasonable.
Yeah.
The majority of everything that I have has come from the thrift store.
Yeah.
Most of it is brand new donated, and they do sort through stuff. So, if it's too worn out and too used, they throw it away.
Sure. Yeah, you're not going to find junk just laying on the shelf.
No.
It's all.
Shoes, they get a ton of new shoes, a ton of, semi-used shoes. Somebody wore them and they were just too uncomfortable for their feet, so they donated them.
Yeah.
It happens. I bought shoes and, thought they were going to be great and worn them for about 4 days and realized that I don't like these shoes.
Or shoes that people kind of had ideas for and then didn't go as planned. And so
like, I'm going to get married and then I'm not getting married.
Or even just, this would look good with this outfit. And then they get it with the outfit and like, I was wrong. And then they just donate it back. It's like, that was a miss. Swing and a miss for me. But, that's you get a lot of that kind of stuff. And even like, if you're a collector of things, if you have, I don't care if it's Beanie Babies or Pound Puppies or whatever, or those collectible plates from the 70s, whatever it is that you're into, you should be hitting these places regularly and just taking a gander, because a lot of times people donate stuff like that. And then you realize that, oh man, that's probably worth $100, and you end up buying it for 10.
Yeah.
And you go out and look out and find it's worth $100. That kind of stuff happens all the time at the thrift store.
It does. We've actually had a couple of pictures that were donated that were like the oil paint.
Mm-hmm.
And when we looked them up, they were pretty valuable. So we were able to discuss with the guy in town that does the antiques and stuff like that. And he bought them directly from us because that's what he deals in mostly. So
nice.
But we get a ton of stuff for the thrift store.
So make relationships with these thrift stores. So if you are a collector, and they'll be on the lookout for you sometimes, and like, hey, if you get this in, call me right up and I'll be down to buy them up or whatever. That's because at the end of the day, you're helping the Humane Society by doing that. So.
And yeah, it clears out room for more stuff.
And it makes room for the new stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's...
It's just, it's kind of the same. You adopt a dog, it opens up for another animal to come in.
Yeah.
You buy stuff, it opens up for more crap to come in.
Buy
Not
a couch.
Sorry.
Buy a couch and you get room for another one.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of electronics and stuff too?
A lot.
Like City, and you got a curved TV in there. Is that?
Yeah.
What, like gaming systems, things like that?
They
Is that
do.
stuff that comes in all the time?
They get
too?
a lot of Xboxes, PlayStations, Wiis.
So when you got your kids coming and wanting the new Xbox, and it's $1,100 to buy this sucker, and you're like, well, guess what? Let's see if we can buy the model down and get it for like $100.
Yeah.
At the thrift store.
They do get them quite a bit, and they get games quite a bit. I know they have a little area that's just for like video games.
Mm-hmm.
So Wii's, Nintendos.
Yeah, so kids come in there and shop too. Maybe you can find those games, or maybe...
It's funny, you would think, the kids would be running around getting into stuff. The majority of the time, the kids are in the book room looking at the books.
Yeah, it's the adults in there looking at the games. Pretty with guys like 30s, 40s, that they're all probably in there looking at the games because they grew up to them. And then there's this whole nostalgic wave now where everyone wants to play Nintendo and Atari games all of a sudden. So they're looking for those to feed their, return to youth mentality or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think you got more adults playing games than you do kids now, it seems like.
You do, and the majority of the adults that are playing game are millennials.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I know, and I'm going to sound like an old, out-of-touch dude here when I say this, but I still don't get how these gamers are making all this money by just streaming online. And
I don't get it either.
I know people watch it and give them money, which I don't get. Why are you giving a guy money to? I mean, I get you pay for a service and you want a service, you like it. I get it. I've bought things that are dumb or whatever too, but you're literally watching a guy play a game like we used to do at our houses, sitting in the living room while waiting for your turn to play. And there's people online watching them for hours on end, and they're making bank. They're making coin as people tip them $5, $10. Next thing you know, they got a couple $100 each day just sitting there playing games all day.
If I was any good at video games, I'd probably do it too, but I suck.
Yeah, and that'd be the other thing. I guess you have to be good at it, and they're all usually playing like Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty. It's just the same 6 or 7 games. Halo,
Yeah.
they're all playing.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it's all the same 7 games they're playing, and I guess if you're just good at one of those, you can find suckers that'll give you money for watching you play it.
I just suck at all video games except Zelda and Pac-Man.
Mario Brothers.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, Mario Brothers. I wasn't too bad at that, but
Yeah, I just don't get it. But God bless you. I mean, if you can do it, good on you. I know. I remember like when they did the remodel of the UFO McDonald's a couple years ago.
Mhm.
They brought in a guy that was one of these professional gamers, and so he was doing that stuff, and he's making money. This guy's probably making more money than I am. He's sitting there playing a computer game all day.
see, there's a difference from working from home when you're actually working
Yeah.
and playing at home and getting paid. That's not fair.
Yeah, I don't. If it's capitalism, God bless you. If you find people willing to pay, I mean, good for you. I don't understand people giving money for this nonsense. I mean, I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at society for allowing this to happen. I mean, it's literally like, to me, I hear that and I'm like, hey, I'm going to make a sandwich. Who wants to pay me $5 to watch me make a sandwich? That's what I feel like. This is the same thing. Is like, gotta go to the bathroom. $10, you can join me. You know, I feel like that's what we're talking about right now with these video games.
Nobody could pay me enough money to go to the bathroom with me. That is a privilege only my husband gets.
There you go.
And that's not even a full privilege.
He's like saying, I'll take a pass on that privilege.
He's like, you doing 1 or 2? Because depending on what you're doing, I ain't going nowhere near you.
That's a solo activity.
Yep, it is.
I agree.
Speaking of my husband, I would like to give a special thanks to his boss, Jim at Roswell Seed, who is also known to us as Dad. He has done so much for the Humane Society lately, and
He's a good dude.
He really is.
Jim Gill does a lot for our community.
Through the entire pandemic, if there was anything we needed, he got it.
Nice.
You know, we break water hoses like crazy. It's just gonna happen. And anytime I say, hey, you know, one of our hoses is broken, we get a new one.
Nice.
At full donation. And water spray nozzles, they break like crazy. He gives us them, you know.
He got a standing order. Just bring some over.
I just go in, Dad. But I just want to say thank you so much to him because he does so much for the Humane Society.
He does.
He thinks about us all the time. He tells me,
That's awesome.
If I have to read you need something in the newspaper, you're in trouble. So I have to tell him first before I can put anything in the newspaper.
Gotcha. But you're right. And the thing is, he helps a lot of people in our community, too.
He does.
Roswell Seed Company is very much a fabric of the Roswell community and been so for 100+ years, and hopefully will continue for the next 100 here. But yeah, you're right. Thank you to the Gills, Jim Gill and his family for all the support they do for the Humane Society and then the other organizations and things in our community here too. So
He's probably going to get mad at me for doing it, but it's okay, Dad. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I got a story, but I'll tell you off air. It just recently happened that he's sort of involved in.
Oh.
just people try to do nice things, and there's always dummies that do dumb things.
Oh, yeah?
And that was one of those. Jim was the nice one doing nice things, by the way, not the dummy doing dumb things.
However, I have seen Jim on the plotting of doing something dumb and hearing the aftermath of what happened. But,
yeah.
For the most part, he's always out there looking to do something good to help somebody.
Yeah.
He's always willing to give to somebody regardless of what he has or doesn't have.
Yeah, they're all class acts. Great people, a great family, and by the way, if you need help with gardening, planting, seeding, whether it's personal, commercial, or whatever it is, their staff can take care of you. They got you covered.
They got the answers.
Come on by. They're just like 2 blocks over from where we're at right now. So maybe 3.
2 1/4. No, I'm kidding.
2 1/4. 2.7825. So, of course, if anybody has any questions about everything we talked about here, or want to take advantage of some of the deals here, especially St. Patty's Day, they open up at 10 o'clock?
Yep.
So you ought to be making your way over there right now. They're going to be opening up here in about 13 minutes. And
unfortunately, the wind is probably keeping people from waiting in line because normally Wednesdays
Yeah.
And Thursdays, they're waiting outside in line, but...
They'll all be in the cars.
Yeah, they're going to be in the cars. They just wait for that door to pop open so they can run in.
Yeah, and then they're going to put their head down and try to be as as least wind resistant as possible and just try to cut through it to get inside there.
Yeah.
Very good. So if you buy any kites or anything like that at the thrift store today, maybe secure it before you walk back outside. It might be going away that pen.
It might be going away. Or hold on tight and you could go for a ride.
That's right. Hey, put that sheet back on your car. And
Go get the PVC, the little glue, the corners, the elbows, wind it all up, and then hope for the good.
There you go. And then we'll pick you up out of a ditch outside of town here a little later on.
Yeah, we'll make you wait a while.
That's right. If anybody has any questions, give the numbers for both the thrift store and for the kennel side.
The thrift store is 623-9210.
Okay.
And the kennels are 622-8950.
Okay.
We are open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 12 and 1 to 4:30.
Okay.
And the thrift store is Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 4:30.
Good deal.
Website is still the same, roswellhumane.org. We are still hiring for a full-time kennel position.
Good deal. So
apply in person with the resume or cover letter.
Good deal. So if you're looking to want to, maybe this is perfect for someone who loves pets and things. Maybe you can't own a pet because you don't live in a place that's conducive for that. So, come work at the Humane Society. You can do that or volunteer. We're always looking for volunteers to help walk dogs and interact with the pets and
Unfortunately, today the wind might be
not
blowing
be
you
the
and the
best
dog.
day.
So,
Yeah.
Depending on the weather, depends on, when we schedule it because
But I bet
we don't
tomorrow will
want
be a
you
good
to
day.
be out and about in horrible weather.
Yeah. I bet tomorrow will be a good day. It's supposed to be like temperature-wise about the same without the wind. So
Oh, hey, yeah.
I think we'll be okay tomorrow.
That'll be good, right?
Yeah, but call ahead and say, maybe get on the list of regulars to come in when you can. And of course, like you said, if you're looking for a job here, it's a great job. It's a dirty job. You're going to be cleaning up after pets and cleaning and doing that kind of thing. And they do things that smell, and that's what they do.
What was that guy's name that used to do the dirty jobs?
Oh, Mike Rowe.
Mike Rowe.
Mm-hmm.
He makes it sound so horrible, but it's really not that bad.
But it is a Mike Rowe-worthy job.
It is. It really is. There are some days where I'm like, oh.
But look on the bright side. At least you're not dipping your hand in the ground to pull out gooey ducks or something like that.
I can contest. I would rather have the shovel and broom and there we go.
That's right. And pulling out some weird gooey duck looking thing. But yeah, come be a part of the family here, and you get to. And I think the biggest part is you fall in love with all these animals. That's what happens and I imagine for you guys, and you at the end of the day you want to adopt them all. You want good homes for all these pets, but I imagine there's a couple like I'm gonna be sad to see that one go. And
I can't tell you how many times I've cried. So
yeah.
It does happen, and it's not sad tears, it's happy tears.
Sure.
And then, it does get sad, because you get into a routine to where you see this animal every single day.
You
and
miss
then
the interactions.
now that animal's not there, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I remember when Pookie was here. No.
I used to get greeted every morning.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all gone.
You used to see Pookie pinging around. But, then you get another one in, and then you fall into similar characteristics.
Sure.
Oh, look at this dog. This is what this dog
It's
does.
got its new quirks or new things it likes to do, and that makes it fun, too. So, again, call and apply within if you're interested
Yes,
in a position there. But come out, adopt. Come visit the thrift store, do some shopping, become a member too. I want to mention that real quickly. You only got a minute, but you can membership. Anything can be a member of the Humane Society. If you go to roswellhumane.org, which is the Humane Society's website, you can sign up your kids, your pets, whoever to be a member of the Humane Society. Also, if you're looking to adopt, you can see all of the pets that call the Humane Society home right now at roswellhumane.org. If you see not available over the picture or next to it there, that means the pet is in quarantine because it's trying to make weight or it's waiting on vaccinations or something. It's not ready
Just
to
not
go to the
quite
public
ready.
yet. And so that doesn't mean they've been adopted. If they're adopted, they're not on the website anymore. So if they're up there, they're looking for a home. So if you fall in love with an animal and it says not available, call up and say, hey, I see that. What's going on with that dog? And they're like, oh, well, she's a bit young or a bit light. We're going to need about another week or two to get up to weight, and then she'll be available or he'll be available. Or if it's no, we're waiting on it just came in, so it's on quarantine, making sure it doesn't have parvo and that kind of stuff. And then once we're good with that, she's ready to be adopted, So it's that kind of stuff. But and we said this 100 times. You actually love that kind of stuff when your staff gets calls from people saying, "Oh, I just love this dog. How's it doing?" and keeping in checking on them.
That helps us, know that you are truly interested in that animal.
Yeah, that's because you want people that are going to take these pets home and treat them just like family. That's the whole point of the Humane Society. So, good deal. Is there anything we missed?
I think we got it all.
Got her all. Very good. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yes, sir.
All right. Don't work too hard. Hopefully we get an adoption for what was the dog's name? It's like been there 14 months.
Yin Yang.
Yin Yang. Yeah, we need to get adoption for Yin Yang, and we need someone to come and work for the Humane Society. All right, 9:52. Quick break before we go.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Construction on East Rose Street at the intersection of East Rose and Old Cavern is now underway. Residents and businesses will always have access to their properties during the construction activities. However, signage is in place to slow and shift traffic on Old Cavern and East Rose Street will be closed to through traffic. The project consists of installing new sewer force mains, installation of new sewer manholes, street patching, and other roadway work and work items for completion of the project. The project is scheduled to be finished by the end of April. A Carlsbad man is identified as the victim in a deadly crash with a semi Tuesday. 70-year-old Cecil Parks was killed after colliding with the semi near Eddy County Road 206 and State Highway 200, according to state police. Troopers said Marks attempted to merge onto the highway when his pickup truck sideswiped the semi. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
We cannot be the world's policeman, but when you see mass atrocities, do we have a moral obligation to do something? I think the answer, personally, and you might disagree, is yes. When I see innocent men, women, and children dead, they're not asking for a lot. What Zelensky is asking for is not a lot. Some of my conservative friends say, well, what's our purpose here? The purpose is as easy as right and wrong. It's as simple as, do you sit back and do nothing when you see innocent people? I'm not talking about countries. When you see innocent men, women, and children slaughtered. What has history taught us if we don't stand up for innocent people?
The Conservative Underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
I'm not the best at making decisions on decor at my house. For custom window treatments, I just use Blinds.com. Now, you'll save up to 35% off site-wide at Blinds.com to make your dream home a reality. Now, I've seen firsthand how custom window treatments, it's a minor home improvement that has a major impact. Plus, you get installation on unlimited windows for your entire home at one low cost. Blinds.com, save up to 35% off site-wide. Blinds.com, tell them your friend Sean Hannity sent you. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty wind today as low pressure and a cold front cross our area. Our high stays around 60, and we do have a slight chance of a shower or two around the Roswell area. Fair elsewhere. Partly cloudy overnight and upper 20s and breezy, and then we get sunshine back on Friday, but still cool. We'll be in the low 60s, back into the 70s, and fair for the weekend. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Do you know the All-Star basketball games are coming up this Friday and Saturday? Actually, all the games are on Saturday, but the season only ended last Saturday. That's how fast they do it these days. It's red versus green, and for the big schools, these games will take place in Santa Fe, and we want to wish congratulations to Alexis Sandoval from Goddard. She will be on the girls basketball, the 4A, 5A green team. As far as the small schools, 1A through 3A, these games will be on Saturday in Melrose. Robert De La Cruz from Hagerman picked for the boys team, and on the girls side, Nayeli Kobos from Dexter and Hannah Lilly from Gateway Christian were both picked. That game will be at 1 o'clock on Saturday in Melrose. Congratulations. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With a Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew. Fewer Americans applied for unemployment benefits last week as layoffs continue to fall amid a strong job market rebound. Here's correspondent Bernie Bennett.
Jobless claims fell by 15,000 to 214,000 for the week ending March 12th, down from the previous week's 229,000, according to the Labor Department. First-time applications for jobless aid generally tracks the pace of layoffs. The 4-week average for claims, which compensates for weekly volatility, fell to 223,000 from the previous week's 231,750. In total, 1,419,000 Americans, a 50-year low, were collecting jobless aid the week that ended March 5th, down 71,000 from the week before that. Bernie Bennett reporting.
P&O Ferries, one of the largest ferry operators serving the United Kingdom, has fired 800 crew members with immediate effect, saying its survival depends on swift, significant changes. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew.
Time to put your money where your mouth is. The March Mania Slam Dunk Savings Event is on at Roswell Honda. Saturday, March 19th from 10 to 1, the hoop will be set up at Roswell Honda. Shoot for up to $1,000 discount. Enjoy free food and drinks, fun for the whole family, and register to win a 54-inch Spalding portable basketball hoop. 1 entry for stopping by, 3 entries with a test driver service, and 5 entries with a purchase. Drawing March 19th at 1, must be present to win. Score big during the Slam Dunk Savings Event at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Simon the Magician's request in Acts 8 was motivated by the same illusion of power that drives so many people in today's business, political, and entertainment areas. Popular culture invests actors, sports figures, and other celebrities with the appearance of unusual significance. Even among Christians, there exists a strong tendency to create power figures out of preachers, and singers, writers, and even megachurch leaders. But God's power has little or nothing to do with outward appearances or worldly acclaim. Simon had adopted the world's perspective on power. Showered with uncritical praise, he became obsessed with himself and his supposed importance. Tragically, he viewed others through the same distorted lens. What about you? Have you given in to the illusion of power? Or do you listen to those who aren't impressed with your status and will level with you about your weaknesses? How much do status and position define who you are? Suppose you were to lose it all. What would you do then? Just some thoughts.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday. Located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Your home for